So, hello, beautiful people. I hope you are all doing well today. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Saadiq, also known as the Black Yule Brenner. It is the Demetra K show where we promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even because we are great people, but we can always try to do better. I'd like to also say a big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you just viewers, but you are family and participants because we do share the link. I think we'll share the link today. But all I ask is that if your profile looks this instead of this, please show me your face. And then if you choose, you could go back to that. But I just need to make sure, especially if I've not seen you on before, I just want to make sure that there's no shenanigans. You know, somebody who want to come on here and literally show they behind. We've had that before. Nevertheless, also ask that we are kind to each other in the comment section and up here. Let's try to refrain from curse words and things like that. As you guys know, the little algorithms, they do catch that kind of stuff. So a lot of times you guys say, oh, you're not reading my comment. Trust me, I would say 97% of the comments, but in a lot of cases, I won't see it because maybe it's been filtered out and I just don't get to see it. So I just want to let y'all know that right up front. All right, so we're going to talk about a teacher facing backlash for allowing students to take his braids down during class. It's been a hot topic all over the internet, and I actually have been pondering about this for a couple of days. And so I've drawn a couple of conclusions and solutions for myself. I'll get into that just a minute. I also want to say big giant thank you and happy Mother's Day, I guess is what I'll say to those of you guys that are celebrating Mother's Day out there. I'm not one that celebrates Mother's Day. I've stopped doing it for a while. Although every year my daughter, she'll offer to buy me something or take me somewhere. And I'm like, don't you give them white people your money for me? But I should also say, too, I have a pretty good kid. She's very kind and nice to me all year long. She drives me everywhere I want to go. You know, I could call her right now and say, hey, Deanna, can you bring me a cup of water? She might go, but she'll do it. You know, so I feel pretty lucky that I'm acknowledged as being a, pretty cool mom all year long. But to those of you guys who are celebrating, I hope you're having a wonderful, beautiful day. Also want to say, I guess, a happy birth anniversary, 91st, to that of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Celebrated his 91st birthday yesterday. As we know, he is the leader, if you will, of the Nation of Islam, has been doing it for a very long time. And not just leading the Nation of Islam, but Black people who are willing to listen to his word and instructions and things like that. And so we wish him a 91 more years. So anyway, we'll talk a little bit more about both of those as we go along. And Donovan, how are you doing?
I am doing great. A beautiful day here in Southern California, one of the better ones before it gets super hot out here in the desert. Again, I want to also wish everybody out there a happy Mother's Day. And I just want to add this. I'm going to go easy on Demetra today, even though she says she doesn't need me to. But no, right. I'm going to say this for you moms, especially you moms out there that have this false narrative of, because it seems to me the culture that we're putting into these young women's heads is that being a mother is the least important thing to worry about. We put our careers ahead of that. We put our education ahead of that. I would disagree. I would say the most important job in the world is being a mother. Because again, and it's a lifelong thing. It ain't like you just go 18, like men. We're always going to be fathers, but we cut our sons off. And we say, no, we ain't taking care of no grown men. Mothers are mothers until they join the ancestors. It's a lifelong dream. It's one of the hardest jobs in the world. And, it's sad, but a lot of people would think a 20 or 30-year career working for somebody else is harder than being a mother. That is the hardest job in the world. And when I see women that run from that responsibility, it just shows me you're a weak woman. And yes, I said it. You're a weak woman when you do not want to do the hardest job in the world, the most challenging job in the world.
Yes, indeed. And hello to everyone. I hope you're having a great day. And so that we'll get into, maybe we won't. Maybe I'll just do it right now. I was pondering that of a mother and came up with I didn't come up with it. I looked and this is what they say a mother actually is: a teacher, chef, chauffeur, housekeeper, event planner, nurse, referee, coach, and general manager, counselor, mediator, nurturer, photographer, even problem solver, healthcare, spiritual advisor, and
performer.
and a whole host of other things. So those are just some of the things that a mother actually is, or some of the things that she actually does. So I just want to put that out there. So anyway, yes, indeed, y'all hit the like button. I love and appreciate you for that. We also have ways to donate to the channel. Okay, let's get started. So this video I'm about to show you, and I sped it up, okay? I sped it up. It's about 4 minutes long, so I sped it up. It's kind of fast. Hopefully, you guys can hear it. But this particular teacher, I think his Jack Lee, I think that's his name on TikTok. So it sounds like he uploads videos a lot. He's a teacher, right? So he uploads different videos of him in the classroom with his students and things like this. So this particular video I'm about to show you actually went viral. And I'm gonna put up so y'all can see, and then we're gonna have a discussion because it's gotten a lot of backlash. Okay, so please pay close attention to it, and then we'll get into the topic. So it's about 2 minutes long or so. Cut it down by speeding it up. All right, so let's see. Is this it? All right, y'all ready? Here we go.
A little, shall we? Last Friday, 10 minutes before out, there was quite the discourse in the chat, which had people saying this was inappropriate, and other people saying this was completely fine, there was nothing wrong with what I was doing, and people were just making it weird. So, of course, I had to bring this issue to the big stage. I would like to represent myself in this case, Your Honor, if I may. Number one, for a little context, I had a hair appointment immediately after school, and I needed my hair taken out beforehand. I would have taken it out the night before, but that Friday we had a camera crew coming in to shoot a promotional video, and I was one of the ones being interviewed, so I had to look presentable, so I didn't take my hair out. I didn't have the time to do it all myself, because it would have taken me forever. So naturally, I asked about 4 or 5 of my over 100 best friends to assist me in taking my hair out, and they all agreed. Number two, this was at the end of class. This week we were doing STEM fair presentations. Since it was Friday and all of my students did an excellent job on their STEM fair projects and presentations, I told them if we get one solid presentation in this class, I'll end class a little early, and they can have fun and play basketball, darts, or be on their phones or whatever. And during that time, my team would help me take my hair out. A couple of these were students from my class, but others were students from other classes. I would order them a pass at the beginning of the class period, requesting their assistance 10 minutes before dismissal. I told the teachers only send them if all of their work was completed and they had good behavior. They all met the criteria, so 10 minutes before dismissal, they showed up for their job. My next point I'd like to make is, if I was a female teacher, those people wouldn't be in the comments saying, oh, this is weird, this is inappropriate. Because me personally, I don't think there's anything weird about this. People saying, oh, that's too intimate. To me, it's literally just hair. It doesn't have to be weird. Some people have never had cool teachers, and it shows. I personally believe that building authentic relationships with students is paramount in being an effective teacher. I make sure my students know and can feel that I care about them beyond the schoolwork and all the stuff that I have to make them do. I take the time to get to know my students outside of academics, because caring for the whole child is what's important. Some of these students have been with me since I was a substitute 4 years ago. They see me as a big brother, or a father figure, as some of them say. And me, I don't want kids of my own, so all of these kids are literally my children. And in case you're wondering about their parents, most of them follow me on social media and always talk about my videos with their kids. They always tell me that they're so grateful that their kids have someone like me in their life. In my admin, they're well aware of my social media presence and they love my videos. To me, this is just another wholesome moment that I'm having with my kids that I was fortunate enough to catch on film. Since I'm a science teacher, one thing that I teach my students about is symbiosis. Symbiosis deals with the relationships between organisms. The type of relationship that I like to foster in my class is mutualism, or mutualistic relationship, which means both organisms benefit from the exchange. So when my students have good behavior, complete all their assignments, and do everything that a scholar is supposed to do, I reward them with downtime and just time to just be a kid, be on their phones, play games, gossip, so on and so forth. My students and I work hard and we play harder. I'm fortunate enough to have students that feel safe and comfortable around me, safe to come to me with their problems, their frustrations. They come to me seeking guidance and wisdom, or come to me simply to chill and hang out because they know that they have a safe space to be themselves around me. What I strive to do as an educator is be the teacher I wish I had growing up. I strive to be the teacher that makes my inner child happy, someone that my inner child would be proud of. I want to be the teacher that my students reflect back on 20, 30 years down the line and think like, dang, that teacher I had in middle school, he was the shit. No further.
Okay, so I'm going to remove that. So that teacher right there, he was, and it was, I sped it up. So yeah, he doesn't normally talk that way. So he was explaining that, I guess, you know, some people had an issue with his relationship with his students. I guess he showed that on his, I don't know if it was live that particular day, whatever, but it was on his social media. Some people took exception. Now, he also said that his parents, his teachers, the students' parents know about it. A lot of the parents follow him on social media. Just all of his students, you know, love him. The parents love him. He's a science teacher. So he has a really close relationship with his students. Now, of course, you guys know that he got a lot of backlash. People are calling him inappropriate, predators, just you name it, right? So it sounds like he's suspended, not fired. He got suspended due to all the backlash online and things like that. And so I'm going to actually show y'all another video. It's short when y'all can actually hear how he sounds. I broke it down as well. But I want to show y'all the remnants of what has happened to him up to this point. And I'm going to keep going because I really want to just give it a well-rounded conversation. All right. So I see some of y'all comments already, but I'm going to hold off on just a second. So this is him after the backlash.
Remember your Bruce Lee quote. Remember your Bruce Lee quote. Can't wait for your return. P.S. Your Air Maxes are in the boys' locker room. I seen them today after practice, and I didn't know what to do with them, so I just put them in there. My Bruce Lee quote is, if you have an emotional reaction to anything someone says or does to you, means that person can control you, and you should not be controlled by anyone.
Okay, so that video also was, kind of long, but I cut it down just to give you a snippet of and what he has been deduced to, and I use that word lightly. I'm going to also show y'all something else. I want to give y'all just something to think about as I continue to speak here. So let's see here. Let me put something else up. So, and I'm going to get to the comments in just a second. So I see a lot of people have a reaction to that particular teacher. Okay. He seems like he's fairly young. I wouldn't imagine he was maybe at 30 at the oldest. I don't know. So people have called for his job. They've called him all kind of names. They call him inappropriate. He's a predator, just all kind of stuff. I've even heard Ricky Smiley and him talk about, how he needs to be jacked up and it couldn't be my daughters and this, that, and the other. And, just a gamut of things, just ruining this man, not even his job, because, you could get a job, but just ruining this man's peace of mind and everything in between. And so I put this picture up because I want to know from everybody who has an issue, okay, who has an issue with that teacher is doing. Why is it all right? See, there's a boy teacher and the one with the female teacher with the blue shirt and the black sweater. There's a whole host of students playing in her hair. Nobody seems to be mad about that, getting her hair done by seeing and heard that before. The one in the middle says, watch my students do my hair this time. And then the other one is a boy. He seems like he's in the classroom. He's got his backpack on. He's cutting his teacher's hair. And obviously there were more pictures. But what I want to know is we're so mad at this teacher for, having his students do that. And I know, as my mama used to always say, RIP, hindsight is 2020, which means looking back, would I have made different decisions? And the answer is probably yes. Okay. But I want to also read to y'all something else. So it says, in the 2020-2021 school year, 1.3% of U.S. public school teachers were Black men, down from 6.5 3 years earlier. This makes Black men the second least represented demographic in teaching, with Asian men representing just 0.5% of all teachers. The teacher workforce overall remains predominantly female and white. So white women are predominantly teaching children, okay? It also says, some say that the lack of Black men in teaching profession is a challenge to bring diversity into the classroom. For example, while Black students make up about 15% of the student population, 61% of the teachers were white women in 2020 and 2021 school year. So I think you kind of got the gist. I'm going to take that down. And I'm reading, kind of seeing you guys' comments out the side of my ear. And so with that, and just a couple other things that I've noticed on the internet in the last couple of weeks, I've started to delete people and I started to delete blogs because what I've noticed in a lot of these blogs, the blogs are no longer, okay, such and such has a dress on that's, I don't know, somebody else wore. It's become a gladiator arena. And when I say by anybody knows the nature of a gladiator arena, usually they put two people in there to kill each other, right? To the death. And so what these blogs do, they form a narrative on people. A lot of times they're not true or the truth is kind of skewed. And then people in the comment section who, and y'all forgive me, not my comment section, but other comment sections, don't have the cricket, the sense God gave a cricket and to go along with these narratives. And so I say all that to say that this man has been demonized, is potentially going to lose his job, has been called predators and a whole host of things for simply having children take his hair down. Okay. Again, the parents don't have a problem with it. But the other thing I want y'all to ponder on, I see a lot of comments. I'm going to get to them. Another thing I want y'all to ponder on is why do we sexualize everything? Why do we do that? Why is everything perverted or sexual in nature? That man put that out there for everybody to see, and all of a sudden, people made this a sexual thing. Like, oh, those girls, he's having them playing in his hair, and they weren't playing in his hair. As he said, he had an appointment. They wanted to help him take it out, and it was in the class, and so they were, just kind of there doing it. No big deal. But when I say we, I mean society have sexualized that. And I didn't see any acts of sex go on. So I don't know. I want to have a conversation with y'all. What are we doing here? But as I said, I just started deleting a lot of blogs and people because I refuse to be a part of that. And the inculcation of nonsense will not get into me. So Donovan, and I'm going to get to y'all comments. I promise. If y'all want to slow down the typing just for a minute, that way I can read y'all comments. That'll be helpful. Donovan?
Hey, okay, great. Again, happy Mother's Day to those that are out there that are mothers. All right. I'm going to say this. Me personally, looking at it, I don't give a damn. I really don't. That's just me looking at it. But teaching is a profession. We always forget that. Teaching is a profession. Parents are supposed to be parents, not friends with your children. There's a fine guiding line in how you do things. Now, I will say this. From what I saw, I don't know if that was vocational day. I don't know if that was a presentation of culture, different hairstyles and kind of.
It sounds like a regular day, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It could have been any of those things. Looking at it for a video and for one day, I don't know what is going on in this man's class, so I can only give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay, because I'm not in his class, I don't know anything, but I do know professionalism. Okay, in the military, even though I was an officer, even if I was a senior NCO, it is unprofessional for me to fraternize with people that are lower ranking than me or I have control over. So him in a professional area as a teacher needs to know how to draw the line. When you don't draw that line, in my opinion, they don't respect you because they think you're their peers. I have so many friends, ladies, that are, oh, my mom is my best friend. That is the stupidest phrase I've ever heard. And then when the child is kicking the mother's in the behind, then she's like, oh, I don't know what's going on, because you're her friend. You're not her mother. She doesn't see you as a mother. So in professionalism, you always got to maintain that line. Do you see what I'm saying? Do I think it's inappropriate for him to have his students or whatever these students are in his hair? Yes, I do. That's my personal opinion. It is unprofessional because you were supposed to be the teacher. You were supposed to be respected and somebody that they look up to. If you want to get your hair done or taken down, take your butt to the shop and do what you got to do there. But again, if it's career day and he's one of those guys that, hey, I'm just going to do that, that's fine. But I'll tell you what, as a man in the modern age, I would be terrified for women to young girls to put their hands in my head or anything like that, because you could get me too'd just by an allegation. It could destroy you. And it's just a fact. It's a fact of the world that we live in today. But I'm going to say you must maintain professionalism at all times and have a demarcation line between yourself and your students or your subordinates. How many of you guys have seen the movie School of Rock? That was a perfect movie. I love that movie. It's a great movie. The guy's not really a teacher. He goes in there. These kids can play music and he's trying to form a band. It's a great movie. You haven't seen it. But again, we sexualize the world with these women movements. Me too, this, that, and which now it's become adversarial. When I was an officer and I had to deal with a female troop, I made sure the first sergeant was there and the door remained open, because unfortunately, these are the times we live in. So I'm gonna cut it short there.
Yeah, and I'm just reading you guys' comments, and hello to everybody that came on here. Yeah, as I said, hindsight is 2020. Looking back, I'm sure he would make a decision to do things differently. I don't know the man. Doesn't sound like there's any evidence of him doing anything appropriate. No students have come forward or parents. Sounds like, in fact, they are backing him up. Um, so hindsight is 2020. Looking back, he should do things differently. But I sure hate the world that we live in now, and I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I have to delete a lot of people and pages for my mental health, and I say that
Is
because
that why I couldn't get in contact with you? You deleted me? Blocked me? No, go ahead.
no, and I say it's for my mental health because of what I do in media. I obviously have to be on the internet. If it was not for what I do, I wouldn't be on the internet as much. Probably wouldn't even have social media pages, just to be honest with you. Because I hate the world the way it is now. I hate the mind of the world. I hate this evil think tank that we have produced. Because I think there's a way to chastise somebody without ripping their life apart. I think there's a way of saying, hey, man, that probably shouldn't, even though the parents and the students are okay with that. Because my child is not in that classroom. Probably none of our kids are in that classroom. But to join in on destroying this man's life, I think that's horrible. I think it's horrible to label him a predator, pedophile, and things, and there's no proof of that. Which we know that does go on in schools. Tends to be more women, I would imagine, that's doing that, and probably more white women, as they are more, teachers than anybody. We see it every day. A teacher, and I saw one not too long ago. It was a white teacher. She's pregnant by a 15-year-old student and was having, I won't say a relationship. She was sexually assaulting him because he didn't give permission for that. Another student. So see the stuff all the time. But to label people something that we have no proof of, I think it's wrong. Because what happens when you destroy people's lives? You just go on to the next person. So I think we, as people, we stop being adults in the way we think, in the way we say things. We just say and do things irresponsibly and don't care of the aftermath that we leave in people's lives. And so, like I said, I'm one. I don't like the internet. I don't like the. I think the internet, and forgive me, I'm not saying this about y'all. I'm saying this about a lot of people. I just think it's made them people stupid. They don't think anymore. If your favorite celebrity says, I don't like this person because they did this, that, and the other, guess what? Most people are going to say, well, I agree with them. It's like, well, you're not going to think at all about what they're saying, if it's true or not. You're just going to agree with them. So that's just me. The internet just really it's sucked the life out of me for the most part. I will say that. And Marcelli says, is this what they're teaching in school? And what exactly? And welcome, by the way. Guyana says show the video he sent to one of his students with his shirt off. So from what I understand, that's also not true. The video with his shirt off was actually a TikTok trend a couple years back. And what they do is they call stitching. So they stitch one video and they have a reaction to it. So that wasn't a student. So again, that's something that people are making up. But I impress upon people, when you hear stuff on the internet, do you just take it at its on its face, or do you go and research it for yourself? Donovan knows what my favorite meme is from the internet, from Abraham Lincoln. If it's on the internet, it must be true. Because people don't research. They just go online. That's why I said blogs. I would love a movement for people to start a movement, unfollow the blogs. They are very dangerous. They become dangerous. So let me keep reading. And Tammy says, we have so much hate for black men. It's a damn shame. Yeah, and I've seen a lot of black men and men. I don't really follow like a lot of black stuff, not really a whole lot of white stuff. But I've seen a lot of brothers also call this man things that they have no proof of that he is or he is not. So I think that's a horrible shame. Thunder, how you doing? Let's see who was on here. Let me skip down. Your average logical thinker. Say, write it because we need more black male teachers. Come on and do the job correctly. Don't muck it up for others coming in. Yeah, and it sounds like he's a good teacher. Sounds like he's a very good teacher. And students love him and he does a good job. So that should not be indicative of him being a good teacher or not. Is it bad judgment? Probably. As I said, in hindsight, is he a bad teacher? It doesn't sound like he is. And Perry says, come on, man, his rebuttal was worse. Oh, did I read all these already? I think I did. Said his rebuttal was worse. I'm tired of seeing black men crying. He should lose his job. He shouldn't lose his job. Just a warning to stop that behavior. The problem is I think black men don't cry. And black men don't cry as much. And I think even just for men in general to be labeled as something adverse because you're crying, that's what's wrong with the world. People don't know how to cry and say, you know what? Let me let this go, because crying is cleansing, right? Sometimes you just need to cry, but to tell a man not to cry, Then y'all wondering why, some of these people roll around here doing heinous stuff to people because they're told you're not a man if you cry. You know what I'm saying? I don't recommend telling men not to cry. I think that's dangerous.
Yeah, but that's just the society that we live in. Like I said, men are always held accountable. We're not supposed to cry. And then if you do cry, oh, he's a simp. He's this, Black men in this society, we can't win no matter what we do. So the best thing that we can do is be the best person we can possibly be.
Yep. So, all right, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna get to these comments because I see that y'all typing. I see some other people came on here. All right. Let's see. Woo. Okay, and Fierce for reading, how you doing? Said, is this a hair class? No. Said if not, then there's no reason for them to be doing any teacher's hair. There are other ways to bond with students. I don't think he should be fired, though. Yes, I would agree with that. Black America says teaching is a job. It doesn't matter who is doing the teaching. It does matter. Representation matters. And I always say, you have a Black boy in this school system in America. He got a white female teacher. You better be up in that classroom every moment you can, because what she's doing is more than likely she's already seen him. She's been taught since she was a baby that Black men and boys are a threat to her. So imagine having somebody standing up in front of your son all day long, a white teacher with that viewpoint of him. So it does matter who's teaching your students.
Yeah, and just think about the number of young Black boys that are put in ESL classes just because of the fear of a lot of these white female teachers.
Yeah, and Russell, you say you didn't find it sexual, but one can still call it inappropriate. So I agree with. I agree with that. Inappropriate, like I said, hindsight 2020, looking back, yeah, I would do things differently. We've all had maybe not moments like that, but hindsight moments. So though he says people sexualize things because that's where their thoughts are in general with a lot of things. I agree with you. Hi, Valerie, how you doing? Says, how do the parents feel? The parents are fine with it. He says a lot of the parents follow him on social media and they don't have a problem with it. Sounds like a lot of them are backing him up and are upset that he has been suspended. And this is due to the backlash from the internet.
Yeah, but you got to remember, though, it doesn't matter what the parents backing them up mean or anything like that. An organization of professionalism has standards of its own. They don't care how your parents feel about it. That's great, but there's standards within an organization. That's all there is to it.
While that may be true, they didn't have a problem with any other stuff he was doing until that somebody got wind of it and made it viral. They didn't have a problem with it. So the internet. So why is the internet or blogs or anybody else? Why do how they feel when they probably have no kids in the class? Why how they feel trump what the parents feel? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, yeah. Again, he's being punished by the organization. That's what I'm coming at. I don't have a problem with what he did.
They're investigating because people made such a stink about it.
So exactly. So, like I said, a professional organization, they're going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah. Anita says that everyone would be completely honest. If we had social media, a lot of our teachers would have been fired. Trust me. You ain't lying right there. I had a couple teachers that's like, really? Okay.
Demetra was getting teachers tossed out of school every chance she got, going to the ACLU, lawsuits flying. Them poor teachers didn't have a chance.
Not me, Wilbur. How you doing? So after 17 years of education, all I can say is Black men in education are not allowed to be human. We are not allowed to have an opinion. However, every school has a policy tied to filming students. Yeah, a lot of times you have to get their permission or the parents' permission. My sister's a teacher, so that I know for sure. They have to get permission before they do it. So you're absolutely right, though. Thunder says, question, would they have said no? Yeah, the answer is no. Would they have said the same thing if he had 3 LGBT male in his hair, or even if he was that himself, right? People wouldn't have a problem with that. Hey, Miss Sweets, how you doing? I hope you're doing well, Brother Don. I hope you're doing well. JSC, how you doing? Says, where are the professional teachers? The same for female boundaries are important. Yeah, I agree. Hey, Buckwild, how you doing? Let's see. Samuel C says, bottom line is inappropriate, super unprofessional on a teacher's part. I agree. Macy says talent. Dave probably no. I think they were in the class. He had an appointment to go get his hair done, but didn't take it out. So students were like, oh, we'll help you do it. Kind of what it sounds like. And he filmed the whole thing. So that's kind of what happened. And Static State of Mind, how you doing? Says, does anybody remember the Black woman teacher that quoted, yes, sexy red to get her students quiet, go viral? I don't remember her getting fired for that. Nope. No, that wasn't deemed inappropriate or nothing like that. But I remember. Yep, I remember. Let's see who else on here. Yanni, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Valerie says teenagers are more so than anyone. Always needs boundaries. It teaches teenagers self-respect with boundaries. Yeah, I agree with that too. But I also agree that there's nothing wrong with teachers bonding. It's just how you do it, right? So I agree with that. Let's see here. Let's see. Marcella says, I totally agree with Donovan in his statement. Okay. And Bernie's, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. And thank you for the donation. Brother Don said, who came for him? If his students' parents are good with him, where's the problem? Now those who have commented negatively were them folks who sexualize everything. Them folks, the project, it said that project, the project, is that what you meant? Yeah, that's kind of the main conversation that's come out of it. It was been sexualized, and I was like, I didn't see anything sexual about what they were doing. How did we get there? You know, Keisha, how you doing? Says professionally, yes, the world will see a problem with this, but I do not. If he had allegations of being a predator, then okay, let's suspend him. But he seems to be upright young man to talk to him. Yeah, that's what I'm gathering. But you know, I said that the evil think tank made him something he has not been proven to be. Let's put it that way. Alex says, if that's what it's the what if factor, the school can't take chances, is why he was suspended. Oh yeah, they have to investigate that, right? And I think they're doing the right thing to investigate it, but people to label him something he hasn't been proven to be, I think is awful. Because like I said, what happens now that he loses his job? My job's done. I done blogged about this man and tweeted and blah, 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 blah. And now I just go on and ruin other people's life. But let me tell you something. Karma ain't no joke. What you do to people comes back to you. So make sure you're doing what you're doing to people out of good intentions and nothing evil, because it will come back to you. That's why I said I hate this atmosphere of blogging, and because your favorite celebrity said it, it must be true. You know? So I don't know.
And the sad thing in his profession, being around kids, which, you know, if you're a teacher, you're going to be around young kids. He might not, let's say they decide to fire him, that's going to follow him in his record. He might not ever be a teacher again.
Right. You know, so then what? You know, again, hindsight is 2020. Jay, how you doing? Says he may not have bad intentions, but it was inappropriate and it crosses teacher and student boundaries, which can result in jealousy, poor performance, distraction, etc. Yeah, and you know, if I was a teacher, I wouldn't have done that, because there could be anything said, right? You just want to kind of make sure that you do your best to not get caught up in trick bag, if you will. I think I heard that on No Country for Old Men somewhere, a trick bag. And Bernie said, yes, it's bad judgment. All right, let's skip down to Zariah. Say, the only thing that bothered me is that he let the dog lick his face. You crazy. Yes, dog. I watched the whole thing of him. You know, he was crying and reading students and just parents things saying they're so sorry. He's a good teacher. And so when he was crying, the dog went. And then he went up on him, put his little arm around him. He first got up on him, put his arm around him, licked him like it's okay. I was like, oh, that's sad. You know, because I don't have a dog, but I know dogs can sense that their owner is feeling one way or another. So, you know, Judge says, I can't do without the crying. No, I mean, you know, Russell says Minecraft for men shouldn't cry in public on television. Okay. Malo Factor, how you doing? And Mikey says, tell him, listen to the Life Jennings song, Cry. Y'all heard it there. Brother Don says they don't want an effective black man in the classroom influencing the lives of young people. Is better than teaching someone like gender neutrality or love is love. If a white woman did this. Yep, I agree with you, Don. I really do. Keisha says, I wouldn't want the Ann Coulters of the world teaching my son or daughter. Nope. And Al says, ever since Cat Williams on Club Shay Shay, black people are trying to go viral. Man, you ain't lying. I mean, just for any and everything. But yeah, I'm telling you, internet is just
think of that check Club Shay Shay got.
Yeah, and that video is now the most viewed YouTube video in YouTube history. I think like it's 68 million views, which is it's a big check. Bro Gooey says this is inappropriate. He is their teacher, and that's what he should focus on. Being friends is inappropriate, even if it's innocent. Well, I think to his point is there's a lot of students that come to school that don't really have a friend. They have a horrible home life, and all of us have a teacher that we can remember that helped us make it through, right? That helped us with something, or, you know, things weren't going right. We had a teacher that we can depend on just even to listen to us or something like that. So I don't necessarily have a problem with that. Candy, how you doing? Black America says, well, you're not a man, so you tell men it's okay to cry is crazy. I'm not a man, but I got a dad, I got brothers, I got male friends, I got nephews. and I would advise for them to cry. It's okay to cry. Now, I'm not saying it's okay to be a biatch. I wouldn't recommend that for a man or a woman, but I think it's okay to cry when you're not feeling well. You know, crying actually makes you feel better. Like, whew, all right, I'm all right now. Because, you know, you holding it in. So when you need to cry as a man, what do? You hold it in until you go, you know, Jeffrey Dahmer on somebody? You know.
Do you want a man's answer?
No. No. Because those aren't tears, okay? Those are not tears. Marcella says, if this person was a part of the alphabet community, would he have been suspended or fired or have all this backlash? I tend to think no, you know, because then he has that card he can use. Let's see here. The average article, I think it says, if the parents are okay, public opinion can trump that. He says it's something he should have thought about before posting. Yeah, I agree with that. Yanni says, I didn't have an issue with him, but keep that same energy when Karen wants to touch our kids' hair, even ours. Yeah. We've seen where white teachers have cut black kids' hair. You know, during that wrestling match, a kid had a dreads and they cut his hair off right there. And it's like, what if they lost their job? You know, girl nation, is it? But anyway, how you doing? He says there are paternal who pimp out their children to musicians and casting ages to just because parents are okay with something doesn't make it right. No, I agree with you on that one, but it sounds like he had quite a few parents that were okay with his relationship with children. So, you know, I think it's still at the end of the day, the parent is the best knower. And then Bernie, you say, I'll say this as a father. Had I seen my daughters on TikTok taking out braids on a grown man's hair, he needs to be out of there. Yeah, so I've seen that that as well. You know, him being threatened, you know, bodily harm and stuff like that. I'm down for people just having a conversation. Hey, man, you know, you might not want to do that no more. Your intentions are probably good, but aesthetically, you know, visually, optics, it's inappropriate. And you want to save yourself some trouble. So my thing is, what happened to just talking to people? You know, what happened to that? Because again, people are deeming him something that he has not been proven to be. I don't know. Just I'm saying that hasn't been proven to be that. Patricia, how you doing? Black America says, are the parents who don't have a problem mainly women? I don't know. I have no idea. Thank you, King Buckwa, for reminding people to hit the button. Jay Joa, how you doing? Let's see here. Abigail says, no, not during class. Yes, the braids come out fast with many helping, but it's not the right time or class for this. Judge says, I feel like I learned better with a teacher I had a connection with. Yeah, I agree with that. I did too. Studio, how you doing? Says, homeschool your kids. Teachers at the schools are not what you think. I don't know if it's worse or we just are knowing about them more because of the internet. But I think teachers have always been, not all, but some have been like, well, how do you get this job? You know?
Yeah. And then whenever I hear comments like that, especially from parents, these are the parents that let their kids use their iPhone at 2 years old and 3 years old just to keep them quiet. They're not reading with their kids. They're not doing anything with their kids outside of, you know, what the school does. The school is a babysitting service, basically.
Yeah. And girl, you say, the question is, why would an adult male feel compelled to invite children to touch any part of his body? Shocking lack of discernment and situational awareness. Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. What was his intentions though? You know, and let's say hindsight is 2020. Looking back, you learn a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And you got to think about this too. You know, I'm talking from a man's perspective, you know, in regards to putting myself in that position. Not that would happen, but let's say, you know, the girls are doing that. You know, could that be considered grooming? Like later on, the girl grows up, you have this relationship with the girl. Oh, she's really good at hair. And, you know, it goes on to something else. You know, it could possibly turn into something else. That's why you got to delineate. You got to have that line between professionalism and.
Yeah, you know. I agree with that. I mean, it could lead to that. But I just want to know, why do we jump to that? There's so many other things in between that. Not saying you did it, but I get where you're going with that. But why do we jump to, oh, he's a pervert. Oh, he's a predator. It's like, gosh, there was so much stuff in the middle that could have been discussed before we got there. I guess that's kind of where I don't know. Maybe I think too much.
Well, again, and notice that when a man is involved, that's the first thing that comes to mind. When it's a woman that's involved, like the girl with the sexy red thing, you don't hear anything about it. That's these Me Too feminist women running around here, dogging men out. That's just how society is today.
Absolutely. Vince Ancestors says those Cleveland, Ohio school teachers want wasn't black or the open enemy, male or female or nothing in between. Okay, got you. Yeah, it's sad on YouTube. You have to really decode stuff, right? J. Joel says you do not blur the line between adults and kids. This is usually how grooming occurs. And I'm not saying this is the one, but it's suspicious. Yeah, that's usually an indicator of grooming. So I would agree with that. Don says, listen, let me touch your hair for real. You must like me. You must really, really like and trust me in your head. I didn't Becky Sue or Lil Karen in the midst of them children. Okay. Somebody said, what's wrong with Ann Coulter? Let's see. Russell says, sorry, some of my comments were typos. That's okay. Sometimes my reading is Studio say, how do you try to go viral? That's a terrible culture. Oh no, people do all kind of stuff to try to go viral. Al says, if you have braids or locks without a hairstylist and you can't take care of them, you probably shouldn't be having them. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. You know, seen some people say that it was unprofessional for a man to have braids, and I don't know. But yeah, it's a good point. Keisha says, if anyone deserves to cry on camera, black men and women deserve to cry all day, every day. I totally agree with you. Donovan says, so sad that he put himself in this position to be criticized like this, but hindsight is 2020. Yes, indeed. All right, y'all don't want men to cry. Y'all don't cry if you don't want to. Okay, I'm just saying, as a woman, I'm not going to judge you for crying. I think, you should kind of let it out sometimes. I cry sometimes, and sometimes I don't even know why. I just feel like I need to cry. I sit at my desk, and I'll just think about something, whatever reason, I'll cry, and I'm like, okay. I cried the other day. I was listening to the 3 Degrees. When Will I See You Again? And I thought of my mama. Boy, I tell you, because I remember I couldn't have been, I don't know, 5 maybe or so. My mom would play that song. So I was listening to it and it just hit me like a wave. I was like, oh my God, my mama used to play, so I cry if you want to, shoot. Don says the problem is that they ain't Shannon Sharp. They're more like Damon Dole. And even Shannon Sharp is, him and Shaq got into it. Marcelo says, I think men should cry only in front of their woman, but not in public like he did. I'm sorry, to me. That's the weak man. To me, that's my opinion. Okay. King Buckwild says, men, we go cry in the car when we are alone in front of everyone. Not in front of everyone. That's all. Okay. I've seen men cry before, so I guess maybe I don't know.
Most men do cry. We just cry in private.
And then how did I see him cry?
Like I said, most men. I don't know about I said most men cry in private.
Lady Blue says, how you doing, by the way? It says, recently 2 black students in Kasia Johnson and Nakia Jackson are history-making teens who solved and showed proof of the age-old math giant, the Pythagorean theorem. Yet the story is not everywhere. Yeah, people don't tend to like that stuff. And even in some of the stories that I do, I'd love to do stories like that, but people don't want to watch those stories. It's just sad, but it's true. But I think we should talk about those things. So yeah. J. Joy says, these parents are extremely gullible and have put the kids in lives and danger by allowing this. I am not saying he's a chomo. I know what that means, but this is how they move. But there's chomos in their family too, probably. Chomo probably lives across the street from them and next door and at the church, because we know there's a lot of chomos in the church. I'm just saying. I'm just one of those people. I don't like to label people things without knowing that they are actually that. Because that's how you got the Salem witch hunt and, McCarthyism and a whole host of other things that's happened throughout history that has not been proven, but it's been historical because people just simply lie to reinforce a narrative.
So why, when men go down to the Dominican Republic, you're quick to judge them when we're down there for, fraternity and getting together and praying and all that other stuff, but you call us something else?
because I've seen this with my own eyes, and I damn sure didn't see no praying. Okay, I've seen some other praying. I'm just playing, but I know I've not seen praying, but I've seen with my own eyes that y'all need a crucifixion, not a crucifixion. What do you call that? Yeah, I guess that's
An
what it is.
exorcism.
Yeah. Y'all do the exorcism, okay? I'm gonna send the exorcism delegate down there on you. Abigail, how you doing? Says he doesn't deserve to be fired over this. He just picked the wrong time to ask for a little help. If he were about to get married to Becky or getting help, there would be no complaints. Child. Facts, not feelings. How you doing? Says peace and love, family. Dude made a mistake. What women get away with, men do not. That I would agree. I agree. Judge says they're more worried about him than kids getting. Come on now. Getting pew-pewed in school. Yep. It's amazing what people have done. But we hear about that go on every day, and people, So you're right. Black America says, see, you don't even want a man's answer when Donovan was trying to give it to you. I know what Donovan was going to say, and I don't want that answer, okay? I think we all know by now what that answer was going to be, okay? It's 6 o'clock in the evening, still early. Paris says a warning should suffice. Okay. The average logical thinker says, sorry, but a lot of parents these days are just as lost as the kids. I don't trust their judgment. I for the most part, I trust parents' judgment. I don't think I think I'll always say this. I think this is the worst generation of parents. But I think there was pretty bad parents then too. But I think most parents have some sense. I think what we see on the internet is not the norm.
And see, I disagree with you because most of these young parents themselves are children themselves, and grandmas raising the kids in a lot of situations. A lot of these young people that do have kids, either they're working, whatever, they're not interacting with their children like it was back in the day. So they're using a lot of extended family members to help raise these kids, and these kids are basically raising themselves. So these new parents are terrible, and a lot of them are children within themselves.
Lady Diana, he says, would not be my daughter. Is it just not right of this teacher to have the kids do this? Plus they exchange phone numbers. No. So I don't know about the phone numbers thing. I guess we probably didn't do that. Well, we had house phones. I don't know. Having a teacher's number is not rare. It's probably more for the parent to have, but it's not rare, you know? So okay, let's see here. Damon says, I cried in 2013 when we lost, on a walk LAUSD Division II championship at Dodger Stadium, Chavez High School. He says San Fernando Valley. Okay, 2013, huh? That was the last time you cried? Okay. All right, let me skip down a little bit so I can catch up. Keisha, you says, this world is always so willing to traumatize Black people. And guess what? Black people would join in on the traumatization. We do it all day long, you know? Ken Hunter, how you doing? Says there are too many adults trying to be children's friends. Having a connection is okay, but having children touching on you is way too much. Again, I would not have my students touching on me, but I think it's the eye that we're looking at it. Did y'all see anything sexual in what was going on there? If y'all saw something sexual, put a 1 in the chat. I didn't see anything sexual. I'm just saying. Lady Blue says, a teacher having students braid his hair doesn't add value to the students in any way. Complete in academia is very inappropriate, to say the least. Okay. Soto, he says, I see your grooming point of Donovan, but don't it be one student and one teacher? Not that it can't happen in a situation. He said, yeah, I have hundreds of students, and these are some of the students. He actually called them hundreds of best friends, is what he called them. He says, I don't have children, don't want children. So in a lot of cases, he said he's a father figure to a lot of those students. So that's just kind of further explanation as to what he was saying. And Roa, how you doing? He says he also had other students from other classrooms coming to his class to do his hair. I'm pretty sure the other teachers would let them go on to another class for that. Yeah, he did say that. He had other students from other classrooms. All right, so let's see here. C Love, he says, BS all women will always judge a man for crying. Not all women. Not all women will judge a man for crying. Okay. I'm one of those people. I will judge you, man or woman, depending on what you crying over. But because you cried, nah, I think people should be allowed to cry. And that's the problem. we just got a lot of societal norms that probably shouldn't be normal. Men shouldn't cry. That's the same vein of, telling boys that you shouldn't cry. Well, what about when you just whooped his ass? He shouldn't cry either. He should just suck it up. It hurts. When you experience emotions and hurt, what are you gonna do? That's not helpful. It's not healthy. So
unfortunately, you're looking at it from a woman's perspective. It doesn't make sense to you, but to men it does. Because if you can't take this ass whipping, wait till you get out there in the world as a man. You ain't got time to cry. Nobody wants to hear all your cries and your excuses. So I'm not saying, don't cry if something's hurting you. Your natural emotion is going to come out to that. But in general, men teach their sons to be strong, like steel. Steel doesn't cry, steel doesn't bend. It takes a lot for that to happen. So since men are deemed as strong and leaders, you have to be strong and just take it. It's simple as that.
Brogo, you say, and hello to everybody that came on here. Says, Dimitri, you're right. It's okay for a man to cry and let it out. But let's be honest, if you saw your man crying and let it out, would you feel some kind of way about it? Brother, suck it up and move on. No, I would not. Because if something is bothering you, I think you should express yourself in a way that's healthy and helpful for you. See, I'm not on that men shouldn't cry stuff and this, that, and the other. I think if you feel like crying, you should cry. Now if you just a weenie and you crying over silliness, and then again, silliness is subjective. It might not be silly to you, or maybe to me, but no, I'm not going to tell a man that you shouldn't cry. I'm sure that there's a lot of people in prison who have been told they shouldn't cry. And, that has come out in other ways. So no, I personally have not normalized the boys and men in my life. If you a bitch, if you cry, excuse my French, but I have not made that a normal in my life. So I can't speak for other women though. Let's see who else is on here. Lynn F, how you doing? It says, I just now saw the video. Ish was inappropriate as F, but I don't think he should straight lose his job. I agree. Trying to get the man fired, I think that's silly. Your average logical thing, it says, yeah, he shouldn't have been labeled without proof, but people have labeled him that, and it's like, how did you get there to there? That's kind of weird. Troy says, I'm trying to remember if Dante Wilder got that much smoke for crying on camera. See, I'm just going to keep reading the comments because, like I said, I know that's the tropes that we go with. Men shouldn't cry. And we wonder why some men have issues because they're told what makes you a man is when you don't cry. It's crazy. I've seen all kind of men from all walks of life cry before. So, but again,
Yeah, no.
So maybe they're not a man. And trust me, I've seen some men who are definitely men cry.
You got to remember, it's not that they're told that. That is what society says a man should be. That's the standard of society. That's all we're saying.
Yeah. One thing I really love about taking philosophy is it asks you the question, how do you know? Society tells you. How do you know society is right? So Keisha says, Donovan, I'm just grateful that you came back safe and didn't end up on the other side of the wall between Haiti and the DR.
Hey, like I said, if I would have ended up on the Haiti side, I probably would have Barbecue as my lieutenant because I know how to fight. So I would have gone in there and taken over.
Okay. Your logical thinker says, sounds like the men around the teacher didn't school him. I don't know. Like I said, I think his heart was in the right place. I think he made a mistake. But to be grilled, see, that's one thing that we're good at as a people. We like to grill each other to death. But, Miss Ann hopping up and down on all the students and it ain't not a Negro say nothing, But this man has been inundated on the internet for days now. It's like, damn, these people going to drag this man to hell. It's crazy. And Buckhorse, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Anita says, and this is why my kids are homeschooled. Brogu says, you jump to a man being a pervert because that's how society views man who has a relationship with younger women. If it was young boys grooming a female teacher, you wouldn't not see this much backlash. So the boys can't groom a female teacher, but I think he meant the other way around. Female teacher grooming the boys. Yeah. It would be considered normal. And, we've heard a copious amount of stories of boys, not only just the teachers, but grown women grooming these kids and being their first, right? Taking their virginity and all kind of stuff. And, usually the men in their life say, man, where was she at when I was in school? But had that been your daughter, then you'd be wanting to get a lynch mob, which should.
Yeah. Remember that story of that teacher that gave it up to the whole football team or something like that? Whatever happened to her? You didn't hear much about what happened to her.
We heard about it, but that's the one that should have been dragged from here to there. Jacobs is saying, "How you doing? I hope you're doing well." He says, "Children raising children. This generation is doomed." Yep, I totally agree with you on that one. Studio says, "Back in the day, grandmas took no ish in raising kids. Absolutely, especially mine." Facts not. Your obvious logical thinker says, "Facts, Donovan, and technology to raise them also." Keisha says, "During the pandemic, many students had their teacher's number. Many great teachers gave students their phone number to provide homework help." I'm just reading. Yeah, it's not unusual for students to have their teacher's phone number. It's not, because I'll say this: if somebody's willing to do something to your child, they're gonna do it whether they have the phone number or not, because they're pretty crafty in that way. Okay. Igbu, how you doing? It says, grooming. Grooming is never sexual at first. Yeah, it's kind of the warm up, if you will, subtle, usually. Wilbur said a school district student and our parents will find pictures of you online and paint an entire narrative about you with AI. This can be very dangerous as we progress into the future. Yeah, we heard about that. It was a brother, actually, a teacher. He got mad because the principal would or would not do something, and he fashioned a whole AI racist rant and made it seem like the white principal was saying these racist things, and they found out that it was AI, and now the teacher's in trouble. So yeah, you're right.
And do you hear about these bank robbers that are now 3Ding these masks and making it look black? So when they rob the bank, they think they're looking for a black guy versus a white guy or whatever the thing is. Everything comes back on us, no matter what we do.
And Gloria says it looked like a grown man surrounded by an underage harem. See, that's your perception, because I never once thought of those little girls as whores. That's a you problem, that you're looking at those girls as whores. I never once looked at those girls as whores. I mean, what is that? What's the nature of a harem? What is the nature of a harem?
Isn't that wives?
It can be.
Well, yeah, my thought of when I think of harem, those are wives.
But okay, let's go with that definition. Do they look like they were wives? When you be honest, Donovan, when you saw those girls, did you think wives or whores?
I didn't think any. I just thought little girls.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So those are the conclusions that we're jumping to. This man, inappropriate, have them, taking his hair out. But we've jumped from a teacher having students take his hair out to them looking like an underage harem. And I guess he's some sort of a pimp. So I'm just asking, how did we get there? And I think that those perceptions may come out of some personal experiences, or just because y'all, believe it or not, this is just a word that just came to me. Believe it or not, we are all being groomed. Y'all know who we're being groomed by? We're being groomed by the internet. We're being groomed by these narratives that go out there. Because like I said, a lot of people don't have the sense to dissect things. They just let it enter their brain as the truth, instead of saying, wait a minute, before you come into my brain, I want to make sure and verify that you're true and there's some merit to this. But now we get these little images and these things, and then we run away with it, and we go tell 10 other people as if we were there in that classroom. But I didn't see that.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that about how we're being groomed by the internet, and it's true, because when I was in the DR, I was rarely on my phone when I'm out and about. I saw people that, why are you going on vacation and then you're constantly doing this? What's the point of going on vacation if you're going to be still plugged into the matrix? When I leave the country, I get out of the matrix.
Yeah, as studios say, he don't want children, and as a teacher, what a terrible teacher. There's a lot of teachers that don't have children, because in a sense, those children are the students are their children. I know a lot of teachers who don't have children. My sister's one of them. She doesn't have.
Yeah, how many grandkids have we got between me and her?
Yeah, but to your point, my sister has pseudo adopted children whose home life. My sister been a teacher almost 30 years, and those students' home life was horrible, to where just the most heinous things you could think of. And my sister took those students on the wing and raised them to where some of them don't even consider their own biological mom their mom. They consider my sister their mom, and the children call her grandma or grandmanda is what they call her, and all of that. So I disagree with that. You're a horrible person if you don't want children. So Marcelli say, I know teachers aren't getting paid that much, but did he have them braid his hair also? No, he actually was having them unbraided, so he go to get his hair braided. So not that I know of. Al says, this has nothing to do with race. Nowadays, you can't take any chances. Children must be protected. I totally agree with you. Because all races of people do crazy stuff to children. So absolutely. Studio says, teacher get paid a lot. Stop the lie. No, they don't. Not for what they have to do, raising people badass kids and try to discipline them and teach them a lesson. They don't get paid enough. You think about this. Teachers get less than doctors, and teachers teach doctors. Teachers teach lawyers. Teachers teach a whole bunch of stuff, but they get less than the people they're teaching. Think about that. So
in California, with the new minimum wage law for the fast food workers, that they make more than teachers in some cases.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Hey, Beverly says, I don't think the teacher meant any harm. Too bad the people don't have the same energy for trans surgeries for little kids. Shaking my head. Now we have a lot of selective outrage in society. So Black America, are you saying that you think? I think I asked the question: was it all right for men to cry? I don't even remember the question is anymore. But Brother Donna says, Mama died. I think even D says, do you think that I didn't cry when my grandmother died? Do you think I didn't cry? Get the F out of here, right? But men don't cry, right? I've seen many of men cry in funerals, their mamas or whatever. So that's why I'm like, okay, men don't cry, I guess. But I've seen them cry.
I didn't cry at my grandfather's funeral, but I broke down when my dog died.
And you was doing it on camera. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to keep reading the comments, though, because y'all got all these narratives about what people don't do and be doing them. Igwe says he started the first video by saying, let's stir the pot. Dude knows what he's was doing is wrong. Okay. He did say that. Marcelo says it's not about men shouldn't cry. It's about crying out in public. Did Mike Tyson cry when they hit him?
It's about like in boxing. Like,
I know. I'm just saying. I think I've seen Mike Tyson cry before. Because I know his daughter.
When Robin took all them exes, took all that money from him, I cried too.
Deanna, you saw him cry before? No, I thought you said he had a daughter that unfortunately died on a treadmill accident, which is why they have modified the treadmills. The cord got roped around her neck. I want to say I've seen him cry about that, in an interview or whatever. But Mike Tyson was more than likely making people cry. And when you're knocked out cold, you can't cry. You don't even know. Al says, learn from what happened to Joe Clark lean on me when he took it too far. Okay. Soto says prison is the last place a man should be crying. Oh, but men cry in prison. They do for sure. I heard the first night.
I'm gonna be honest. I do cry. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, so you guys can understand why I cry.
Okay, so my daughter says he was recently crying in an interview about the rage he feels when he fights and not wanting to be that person. So Mike Tyson does cry. I know I've seen him cry before, but y'all keep on go ahead and see what I'm saying. And I love y'all. Y'all know I do, but unfortunately, we reinforce these falsities about what people shouldn't do, and I just don't think it's healthy to tell a man not to cry. If you want to cry and you're valid in crying, cry. I'm not going to. I don't think that makes you less. Why the hell did God give you tears? Now I know somebody gonna say, "Oh, go cry in the closet." All right. Fierce for reading says, I think it's okay for a man to cry. They don't need to bottle their emotions. Men are human too. That doesn't mean he needs to cry at the drop of a hat. Now, yeah, if that's what he's moved to do, then Black America says men can absolutely not cry from physical pain. I get it. I'm not saying everything is absolute. I've been in pain before and I didn't cry. But I've seen, and I know many little boys have cried from getting their butt whooped. Okay. Don't cry. Wa-pow. Don't cry. Wa-pow. Come on.
Don't raise your hand when I'm bringing this belt down.
Right. Just stay there and take it. Don't flinch.
Those were the days. Yeah, you had to do it.
Emmett Bean, how you doing? Said this is why it's difficult for men to properly grieve. Listen, I'm gonna just keep reading because, I agree. And then when they, blow up like napalm, it's like, what's wrong with him? Well, you taught him not to cry his whole life. You told him to just bottle all his emotions in, and then he ends up like a volcano. And then people are wondering what the hell happened to him. Michelle, how you doing? Says, is the role of an educator in the role of an educator? Why would he do that? He explained it. He had an appointment. They wanted to help him. It was the end of class, so they helped him take his hair out. So that was his explanation. But as far as all the other narratives going forward, I have not seen any proof of that. So that's why. But welcome. Damon says, crying when mom passed at 2021 birthdays and Mother Days are hard. Yeah, you do what you must. Don't let these dudes on here tell y'all can't cry. Because I bet you they cry all the time. Okay, I bet you the woman in their life be like, man, this be crying all the time. Average logical thinker says there's a trucker on YouTube whose wife cheated and got preggo by his father. Damn. His father, and he cried. And I think it's justified. Yeah, that's pretty painful. Igloo says dude was crying because he's grooming. Well, okay. His grooming was disrupted. And what proof do you have that he's grooming children, if you don't mind me asking? I think I'm going to share the link in a minute. Let me get down to these comments. I'm going to share the link. Let me just see. Let's see. Oh, did I get? Oh, damn it. I thought I was at the bottom. Bernie says, did you hear about the Baltimore teacher who was dating a student and let him use her gun to do a drive-by? My God. Why we ain't pumping that up? Why we ain't forcing that up with the algorithms on the internet? What's happening? But this one, we got a gladiator.
Because it's so common. That's why. It's so common now.
But it's common, but should it be to the point where we're like, I don't think so. I think we should have an outrage when it happens every time. But I don't know. I'm just asking. But no, I did not hear about that. But that's crazy. Corey says double standard at its finest. Says that if that was a woman, it wouldn't be a problem. Nobody come and go. Let's see. Judge says the school was probably more mad about his braiding than anything. Yeah, it sounds like they knew, his relationship with the students. But again, when this went viral, I think that's when they had to step in and do an investigation. Okay. Studio says harem and wives. Okay. Did you see those women as wives? And girl, you say that's you said that's how he viewed them. How do you know that's how he viewed them? Did he tell you he viewed them as a harem? Because he also plays basketball with boys and a whole lot of other stuff. He goes to his page. So did he say this is my little harem? Or is that a narrative that you're drawing from that? Just asking, because I didn't hear nobody say that he viewed them as his harem. So that's all I'm asking. Yeah, Bernie's, we're groomed every day. And we don't know it. We're groomed every day. You watch TV, we're groomed. Donnie say, if these little girls were taking down a sister girl's braids on their free time, y'all wouldn't have an issue. Yeah, I just showed a picture of a bunch of examples of that. Nobody's really kind of said anything. Brina, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Buckhorse says, was it a beauty shop class? Did he have consent from the parents? Wasn't a beauty shop class. He says that his parents, most of them follow him. So I think maybe that was live. I think when they were doing that, I think. So he said the parents know. That's what he says. How true it is, I don't know. JJ, how you doing? Yeah, and thank you. I have to tell her that. And Buckhurst says, Auntie can be your mom. Yeah, there's a lot of people don't have children, but that don't mean they cannot be mothers or fathers, or acting that role. Studio said that's a lie. Teachers get paid enough. I mean, it depends on who you ask. Tammy, how you doing? Says, can't believe Demetria thought a harem was hoes. I've heard that definition before. But I've also heard that it was a family as well. So, but either definition, when I saw that video, I didn't get anything out of that, those girls being anything other than they were just taking his hair down. So to draw a narrative that it's like, what are we doing here? His little wives. Miss Sweet, she says teachers are underpaid and underappreciated. Yep. Let's see. And happy, Brina, if your mother, happy Mother's Day to you as well. Studio says teachers are not underpaid. Okay. Brother Donnie says my uncle's Crenshaw High School students honored him after he passed. You say they arranged his repast after church, and he attended, denied the family. The average logical thinker says, I know a school administrator that got upset because her students were making more money than her, been fighting with school district for a raise over a year. That's sad. I think teachers are severely underpaid because they're not just teaching anymore. They're disciplining and dealing with the nonsense of the parents, the administration, just everything. I mean, there's teachers that are bona fide drunks now due to the profession. They are. Look at it.
We had a lady named Miss Hopper. She always had her Irish coffee in the morning.
I bet it was Irish. Some Irish cream up in there, some Baileys up in there.
It was vodka in there.
Right. Marcella says, when it comes down to this, I really don't care. But what Donovan said, it's inappropriate. But you're agreeing with Donovan said it's inappropriate. Okay, got it. Bernie says, any man that tell you that he doesn't cry, don't let him go to jail. Right. You crazy. He says, I'm a Knicks fan, and I stay crying. Brenda says, don't be emotionally incarcerated. I like that. Art, how you doing? It says the problem with crying around people is when people use that against you when they're upset with you. Yeah, and then you probably shouldn't be hanging around people who are going to use that against you. It's a human emotion that God has given us. We've got tear ducts for a reason, right? I know it's to cleanse our eyes and, emotions. Sometimes you make you cry, and it's cathartic in a way. Girl says, my commentary and critique is not about the girls, it's about the grown man's intentions. Do you know what his intentions are? If you have some intel, if you talk to this man and he's told you that he sees them as his harem, he's grooming them, he's doing something inappropriate, give us the tea, sis. Don't be up here speculating. Let us know that he has told you these things, or you have some other information that he indeed was doing that. If you don't, it's speculation. That's what I'm saying. And that's the problem. We go with these half-baked ideas and theories, and then we ram them down people's throats. And that's why I said the one thing I hate about people who are uneducated or misinformed is that they'll talk to other people who are just as uninformed as them and know that they won't go do the research, and then they run forth and go spread the lies and go forward with it. So that's all I'm asking you. But you say the look of smugness and self-satisfaction on his face while surrounded by those little girls was pimpish. So let me ask you this. And I hope that people like you don't sit on juries, because with you saying the look of smugness, somebody could look smug and not that there be no other ill intentions behind that. So you're going off of how you deem somebody to look as to how you're saying that he was getting something from that other than them taking his hair off. Well, then why would he film it and then put it on the internet if he was, I don't know. I'm just not one that like to run off with half-baked theories, because that's how a lot of people end up in trouble for something they really didn't do. Well, I thought, he said, he appeared. Well, if all that kind of, there's a lot of people sitting on juries right now. He looked guilty to me. Ain't heard a drop of evidence. Matter of fact, my mom was in the courtroom and waiting for the jury to assemble. They were doing jury, selection. And she said she heard an Asian woman, it was a child of a black man, heard an Asian woman say he looks guilty to me before she even heard anything. So I hope that you don't sit on juries with that mindset. Let's see here. Clubber Lane, how you doing? Says Donovan, Jerry Jones will make you cry for generations. Troy says, I think Mike Tyson was in tears in the Lennox Lewis fight, and Deontay Wilder cried in public. People didn't talk all that trash. Right.
Till this day.
Wilbur, how you doing? Says ass whoopings were the best times of my life. You think? And Tammy, the teacher, wasn't fired. He was only suspended. So you hold your ebulliency until he's actually fired, but he's under investigation. Let's see. He crazy. Bernie said I cried when Coach Chiefs died from
Cooley High.
It was right there. I couldn't think of it. Trusno TV, I hope I said the right. Says,
and Brenda is still alive. She lives in Atlanta.
I think most of them are still alive.
Yeah.
Most of them, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But everybody wondered whatever happened to Brenda, and she's in Atlanta.
Yeah. Trusno TV says those white folks got involved in his business. They put it all on TikTok. Is that what happened? Damon says, was a Cowboy fan of the 70s living in Landover, Michigan. I caught a lot of ish. Got you. Cutthroat Notch, how you doing? He said he's such a goof. Okay. Buckhorst says my father cried. My little bro passed away. Only time I've seen it. I think that's justifiable. Donovan says, outside the U.S., a teacher is in the third highest paid position. Not here, right? Al says, what kind of appointment did he have to want to take his braids down? If that was serious, should have rescheduled his appointment, and then he would have been able to keep his job. He's not fired yet. He's suspended, so he's not fired. But again, that's the narrative that's been going on over the internet, that he's fired. And like I said, I always say this. Y'all can be mad at me if you want to. I don't think everybody should be on the internet. I think you should have to pass some sort of a literacy, reading comprehension, some sort of a research, class or something to say, so that you don't just. I'm not one that believe everything I see on the internet. And trust me, I've learned the hard way a long time ago, which is why I don't just jump to, because trust me, people can say stuff and make it sound good. Matter of fact, I tested this theory years ago. I said, y'all know they're gonna be they're now allowing twerking to be in the Olympics, just to see what people would do. And a lot of people's like, what? Oh my God. And I'm like, damn, ain't nobody called me a liar yet. They just believe me.
See, but I agree with you. There should be some kind of test, the same way that people should not get a driver's license unless you know how to change oil and do the basics of car repair. And guess what? Most women would be taking the bus.
Right. And Keisha, that's why I love you, because you know your stuff. So I just don't be liking really to argue with people too much. I will, though. I don't like it, but I will. But thank you for that.
Concubine is a common law wife. That's what a concubine is.
Let's see here. Truth Noise says they about to shut that school system down in a minute. It's time to homeschool the children anyway. Now, y'all know what happened during the pandemic when these children was at school. The parents is like, oh, hell to the no. The pandemic is over. Y'all go back to school. And, the children weren't performing as well as they would have at school, I guess. Brina says there are boundaries, and I even knew that at a young age. Not the girl's fault, but I would have known better than to be in a grown man's head. My mom would not go for that. It's a good point too. Girl says, well, most pedos won't openly admit that they're sick desires. So I don't know, but again, you are not how you look at somebody is not indicative of guilt. That's all I'm saying. You better be sure before you go accusing people of something, and don't be talking about, I just feel. You know how many people in jail behind somebody feeling? And now just something, my spirit. I hate a Negro to say my spirit. Oh, my just spirit. What kind of spirit is it? Is it a demon? Like, what kind of spirit is it? But you feel, they look. You're going to need a little bit more to convince me. That's why I said there's this society of they. First thing a person to tell you, oh, is they said. Who is they? Well, I don't know. Is this they? That's why I call it the society of they. Because this society of they putting all these things out there, but they never tell you who they are. It's just they. And then when you say that to people, you make them think, like, I don't even know. I just know they was saying it. So, average logical thinker says, I saw my father cry one time, later found out it was severe tooth pain and he had to get it taken out later. Yeah, I mean, I've seen men cry. Studio says a concubine is a family and can be promoted to a wife. Okay. Our son, how you doing? Says, oh my God, Donovan is back just in time to say happy Mother's Day to beautiful Demetria. How are you too? I am doing well, and thank you so much. Appreciate you for that. Marcelo says, I forgot what state it was, but they're starting to let teachers carry guns. Tennessee. Yep. Giannis says, I find more white teachers inappropriate with their students than black teachers. And that also might have something to do with white female teachers being more. So it's like 61% from what I read. 61% teachers are white females in America. So that could be why. Corey says teachers don't get paid enough to deal with the new school children. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I'd probably do it for a month and be like, yeah, I'm good. Lynn says, Judge, okay, he says, happy Mother's Day to all the single moms. Yes, indeed. Lynn, you say, men are human too and need to release emotions. We just hope they don't get carried away with it. I love your hair like that, boo. Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm one of those people. I don't like to see too many people get carried away with crying. I don't like for people to call me crying. And before they tell me what's going on, I'm like, cry first and then call me. because I can't deal with it. And I'm like, okay, compose yourself and call me back, because I'm not going to spend 5 minutes on the phone with you. You know, I don't mind you crying, but let's get to it so we can try to figure out what's going on. That's just me. Also Donovan says, I'm gonna go flying after the show. It's a beautiful day here in Southern California. I wish it was that way here in Houston. It's kind of weird. Anita says, it's all fun and games until the school doesn't have enough teachers and staff to run the school, and the school closed down. Then homeschool is mandatory instead of an option. Can you imagine that, having to teach your own children? And I think that's going to become a reality sooner than later, because there's a shortage of teachers everywhere. They're having to just hire people who don't have teaching credentials and all kind of things to step in and teach children, right? So I think we're going to see that sooner than later. Brina says, Emotional Incarceration is a book by Jason Wilson. Never read it, but I love what he does to help young Black boys understand manhood. I love it. I'd be interested in reading that book. Okay, let's see here. Al said, it's really tough when you taste your tears. Yeah, I mean, you know, some people don't like to cry. I don't mind it. When I was younger, I didn't like to cry, but I guess maybe I'm older now. If I feel like crying, I'm going to cry. Okay? I'm going to cry. I just am. Okay? I can feel better. You know? Damon says assumptions are bad for your health. Yep. And other people's health. Imagine how many people are in prison behind somebody saying they look guilty to me. And I ain't got no intel at all. You going off to how somebody look. Sanity. Studio said the government needs to regulate the internet like they regulate print publications. Well, I think that's coming up next too. But can you regulate stupidity though? That's what I have a problem with. Because misinformation is not new. It's just a different form of how it disseminates because we have the internet. But misinformation has been around a long time. But because we have the internet and you can do research and, you know, like that to see if it's true, people just don't even do it. They think Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and all the other ones, they think that's like the prayer book of information for some reason. Judge says, I thought that was Demetra K in the picture behind Donovan. Oh, and I didn't even see it. I don't know which picture that was. Astrological Thinker says, no, we wouldn't want to learn to change oil in tires as some of us do now. Okay. Buckhorse says, okay, Black Hill Brenner. All right.
Yeah, it's your usual logo with the Afro puffs.
Oh, the drawing? That is me. Right now I have my hair. It's summertime, so I can't really, you know. That's me. That's when my hair was a lot shorter. It's hot, so I'm just wearing it kind of shrunk up already because it's gonna do that, and you know, scalp is itching as we speak. But yeah, that's actually me. Donovan's niece drew that from a real picture. So I don't know where that picture is now. It's somewhere on my Facebook, but it's a real picture of me. Brina says the women ride the bus and the mechanics lose money. Do men really need women? I don't even know what y'all talking about.
No, we're talking about, like, you know, if a women had to take a course on mechanics in lieu of getting their driver's license. Some women in the chat are saying, yes, most women would do that. That would half the pool of women, in my opinion, would not do it because you don't want to get their hands dirty. That's a lot of work you got to do if you got to learn how to do all that stuff. But the thing is, the newer cars that are being made now are now self-encased. And if you breach that self-encased and you're not a certified mechanic, that affects your insurance, and they might not even cover you in regards to how you're going to get that car fixed. So it's going to cost you more money in the long run. So there's only a certain amount of mechanics now that are actually making any money because these cars are so damn cheaply made.
Got it. Education is key. How you doing? Says, did you hear about the murder in a Houston neighborhood? Which one? That could be any neighborhood in Houston because they always getting it popping in some neighborhood. But which one are you speaking of? And welcome, by the way. Of course, he's crazy. Cuba died. He's so good. And Boys in the Hood, he got his chick that night. I should cry too. Judge said the man made a mistake. He is human. Yeah, people aren't allowed to make mistakes anymore. They get, you know, crucified and drawn and quartered and all kind of stuff behind making mistakes, you know, and labeled stuff that there's no proof that they are. So it's kind of weird. Bernie says, I'm an empath, so I'm always crying. You know, crying is good. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, you got a wife. Don't you have a wife? Or I think it's Steven that has a wife, but do you have a wife? Yeah, I mean, crying is not, I don't know. Let's see here. Hey, Brother Samuel, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Our studio says, and they letting teachers carry guns. Get the hell out of there. Yeah, in Tennessee, they said, y'all, it's just okay corral up in here. Clubber says, just follow Red's example on Friday after the beat down. Just go to your car and cry. Okay. Yeah, after logical thing, it says, Dimitri, I was telling Donovan that we would learn to do these things that some of us already know how to change a tire. Oh, yeah. Some of us out of necessity, you know. But I'm one of those ones Donovan said, I don't like doing none of that stuff, but I will and can if I have to. Don't like it though. Judge, you said getting it popping in Southwest Houston, everywhere, right? Miss Sweet says, I don't like getting my hands dirty. However, maintenance is cheaper. Do it yourself. Absolutely. Education is key. Says a trend woman killed an old man. Oh, I did. It's funny. I saw that this morning.
What was it, like a 6'2" trans person? It's crazy. It was just crazy looking at that video.
Did you see it? Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I did read about that this morning. I didn't know they were trans, but I guess we know now, right? It's crazy.
And I want to say this real quick. We are now in the track and field season. If you guys don't know, Demetra Kay was a track and field person herself. Sha'Carri Richardson has not won anything yet in the thing, but you know she's just getting started in the season. It's going to be all of the top runners. They say it's going to be an explosive track season this year. So be on the lookout I think the Olympics are going to be the Summer Olympics are in Tokyo this year.
Paris,
France. So be on the lookout because that's going to be a major showdown from all of these awesome runners from all over the different countries.
Thank you, Keisha. Imlo, how you doing? It says if a teacher wouldn't do it on the first day of class with a student they just met, then they're not doing their job. If a teacher wouldn't do it with a guy as well as a girl, they're not doing their job. Okay. Studio says stop calling women they are men. I thought it was a woman. I didn't know. The individual was a trans. But nevertheless, they took the life of somebody. So all right. Y'all want me to share the link? Remember, if I share this link, y'all have to show me your face. If I haven't seen you on here before, if I've seen you on here before, then great. But if I've not seen you, just show me your face before I bring you up to the screen. And when I say show me your face, I mean, so if it looks like this, then, you know, show me you live and in living color. And then you can blank it back out if you so choose to do that. I think I'm gonna leave it like this for now. Hello. Just kidding. Brother Samuel says, Dimitri, you ran track. Let me guess, 400s, 440. See, they wanted me to do that. And in hindsight, I probably should have. I was kind of afraid to do distance, but I guess now, because I'm older, I guess, better at distance. But I ran the 440 relay, 110. I ran the 220 hurdles. I did the long jump, triple jump. And sometimes I did the 400. Not often. I didn't really like it much. But those are the events that I did. Mm-hmm. M says people don't agree to the taxpayer money being spent on things in school that doesn't benefit their kids. If you do, you're Black. Okay. Oh, I'm supposed to be sharing the link. So I'm going to share the link, y'all. If you want to come up here. And speaking of which, where's Michael been? I haven't seen Michael.
I think Michael's down in the DR.
You know what? I doubt it. Let's see. Yeah, you know what? I've actually, hey, Steven, how you doing? He says, I don't cry in front of my wife. I just can't. Okay, got you. I know how to do a lot of stuff, believe it or not. So let me put this up here. Let me mute this because my thing is wrong.
Yes, indeed. That's an unusual pause there. So I'm going to take it over real quick. But, Sha'Carri Richardson once she put away all of that foolishness and stuff, and she started winning. But a lot of these track athletes, and the thing is, it's kind of crazy now because everybody is so focused on the women. It's just like the women basketball right now. Everybody's focused on Caitlin Clark. And so I'm going to say this. It is imperative you ladies support women's sports. It's imperative. It's imperative.
Yeah. Also, when I ran, if I didn't already, 110 hurdles as well. Now that I think about it, I'm like, damn, how did I get over those hurdles? But back then it was nothing. You had a certain amount of steps before you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah,
1, 2,
timing.
4, 5, yeah. And God forbid you toe up your doggone shin on that. You didn't clear it or something, or you didn't clear it at all. Like,
didn't you wipe out a few times? You barreled through the whole thing.
I know. Oh, no. I'm sure I did when I was first learning how to do them, but it's funny because I was on the track a couple years back and I saw some hurdles. I did it. It was sloppy, but I did it. I was like, okay, just like I said, once you learn how to ride a bike, something you never forget how to do, like roller skating. It's easy. So yeah, I know how to actually do quite a few things. I just do. And thank you, studio. Let's see. So I put the link up if y'all want to click the link and come up here. We got about half an hour or so to be on here, unless y'all want to change the subject to something else. At this point, we're just talking about any and everything. Let's see here. The judge says I ran track for a minute, but I was like, F this. Yeah, a lot of people, it's just not their thing. You actually got to love running, and especially this time of year, spring, when it starts to turn spring, because that's when track season starts, right? During springtime, I love the smell of the fresh cut grass, and it's like, it's showtime. You get out there on the track with your spikes, and then you end up with shin splints from running so much. Oh man, shin splints are for the birds. But you just keep running and tough it through.
Yeah, and what's crazy, about track and field, and I wasn't a track and field person, but I like to watch. You guys practice for weeks and months just for a couple of seconds, just to run for a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
Or a minute.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Miss Sweet says, due to my skinny ankles, I'm unable to roller skate like Demetra. I measure mine watching her skate. Believe it or not, I got skinny ankles. I have skinny ankles. Hey, look, I got small wrists too. I can't explain it. Like I said, I've been skating since I was a kid, probably I don't know, 6, 7 years old. So it's just something like second nature to me. So I try to do it at least 3 times a week. We found a spot, so I go early in the morning and do it. Troy said, I hated the hurdles. I didn't mind it. Once you get your rhythm, you're good. Marcella says, Donovan, I heard you saying support women's sports, but now men are in women's sports and men are beating them.
Yeah, very, very sad. There was a thing, another trans athlete. See you ladies, you guys open the floodgate to that. You guys have nobody to blame but yourselves. Because, we're equal, men and women are equal, whatever. You've opened the floodgates, and they had this trans dude that came in technically last if he was a man. Well, he is a man, but he's mediocre and smoked the women. And now the women are all upset and doing all this crazy stuff. But you want to know what's crazy about the whole thing? Guess who is fighting to keep that window open so that trans men can compete against women? The Democratic Party. In a lot of states, the Democratic Party is pushing back against not allowing trans people to compete in women's sports. But notice that the trans men don't want to compete against the men because they're not going to win.
Yeah, and I don't understand why any women would even. I wouldn't if there was somebody trans on the field. I wouldn't even participate. I'm like, you crazy. I'm not. For one thing, it's an insult to think that I would spend all these years training and doing all the stuff, and then you come on the field and I'm a race against you. I wouldn't even give you the time of day. You'd be on this track by yourself. And I think it sucks because athletes, potentially trying to go to the Olympics or get a scholarship or trying to do something. Then you have somebody trans get on there, and obviously if it's a man that's not saying they're a woman, of course they're more dominant. So another thing too is, as a trans person, why would you want to get on the train on the track with women? That's not a real win. A real win is you actually getting on the track with somebody who is more biologically like you, and that's other biological men, right? But it's cheating, and I wouldn't even participate. I'd be like, you're on your own, sir.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that men and women are not equal? Because
No, I
that
didn't
is
say
because
that.
because that isn't what the feminists are saying
That
and
ain't
all
what I
that other
said.
stuff.
I didn't say that.
So we are equal.
I didn't say that either. I didn't. You did. What did you hear me say?
No, I'm just wondering if is that what you're kind of acknowledging that men have an advantage over women?
Most of them do physically. Yes.
Yes. Oh, so we're not equal.
We're speaking of physically.
Right. Physically, we're not equal. We're not built the same. We're not equal.
But that ain't what I said though. Don't extrapolate from that, brother. Is what I said.
Well, what I'm saying is, you are acknowledging there are basic differences between men and women.
Yeah. So it is known that men are generally physically stronger than women. Yes, but that didn't have anything to do with being equal or unequal. You know, we're talking about physically, because in some cases there are women who are stronger than men. You know, so I don't know.
Where's that at?
Come on, brother.
Where's that at? I've never seen that. I don't believe that. But
You've never seen it. Does not.
I've never seen it. I've never heard about that. But okay.
Okay. Well, if y'all can
take
think
your
of
report.
some examples of women dominating men physically, it's you know, it wouldn't be hard to find.
Okay, I'll Google it. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Let's see. Yeah. Brenda says, I don't think that's what was meant by equal. Yeah, I didn't say that at all, but you know, of course, that's what Donovan wanted to go down that avenue.
No, I don't want to go down that avenue. What I'm saying is a lot of these feminists are delusional. There are differences between men and women. That's what I'm trying to get people to acknowledge. We are not the same. We're not built the same. We have advantages and you have certain advantages in certain things. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Buck Horse, how you doing? Can you hear me?
His mic is muted.
You're muted. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Yeah, he's there you go. We can hear you now.
I ain't doing nothing. I just got finished. Yeah, I just got finished eating dinner or whatever. So I ain't doing nothing. I'm just chilling and listening to y'all and seeing what's going on.
All right, what you got your mask on for?
Oh, you know what? Because I was on the job and something fell up on my chin. That's all.
Okay, well, we definitely want you to stay protected. So you just came up here.
Yeah, but I went to the hospital though.
Oh, okay. You all right?
Yeah, you know me. Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming up here to say hello to us.
Okay, and thank you so much. Hey, I love the black you and Brenda though.
I'm glad. I love him too. Sometimes it gets on my nerves though, but I love him too.
Okay, y'all have a good day now.
You too. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye. BJ, what's going on with you?
Doing well. Happy Mother's Day. Hopefully you guys are having a great weekend and beautiful weather.
We are, thank you. And if you're a mother, happy Mother's Day to you as well.
Thank you so much. Interesting topic. I think everybody takes things to the extreme. I'm just thinking back as when I was a kid and how important there were teachers who taught you confidence and tenacity, and it's easy for you. Like, I really like my teacher, let me help him with no alter motives behind it. So it's like you have to examine the relationship that teacher has with his students. I mean, you're saying that he works with the boys as well, so evidently the kids must love him. But we're living in such a jaded times, because you have to look on the opposite end, that a lot of people are preying on these kids as well. But that doesn't mean everybody's a prayer.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think there's definitely levels to it. There's no absolutes. There are teachers, unfortunately, who do those things to children, but there's a lot of teachers who do not. I just tend to be one of those people. I like to get the information before I try to label people, because we end up putting a scarlet letter on people who don't deserve it, you know. And for reasons, for whatever reason, just become easy just to demonize people before we get all the facts.
Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
And then, while we let those who are actually doing that, they just lurk along the under the radar and keep doing what they doing, because they point at your direction when they sit in the back doing all this stuff.
Right. And Edwin, I agree with you. Optics, keep your distance. Yeah, I think it's wise. Um, I heard it this way, and I'll put your mute on your mic on mute just for a second because there's a little feedback. I heard it this way once from a very wise woman. She says, "You tell people you don't drink, right? I don't drink. I don't drink. You go to a bar and you say, 'Hey, bartender, can I have a glass of water?' Okay. Somebody comes in there, they see you, maybe you don't know they saw you, and they go around saying, 'I saw Donovan drinking at the bar. He had a glass in there. He was sitting at the bar drinking.' So you find out that that's going around. So naturally you say, 'Oh, no, I wasn't drinking. That was water. It wasn't gin. It was water. It wasn't." People are like, "Well, then what was you doing at the bar? When you had a glass." But the other thing is, they do serve water at bars. But it's like perception, the perception of it all. And so if you don't want people to perceive you to be drinking, maybe you shouldn't go to a bar for a glass of water. If you don't want people to perceive you to be something you're not, maybe you should abstain from those things. So Edwin, I totally agree with you. As I've been saying throughout the show, hindsight is 2020. Looking back, is like, yeah, I could have made better decisions. Now that this is what came out of it, which was the intentions were good, but those intentions got turned into something else. So I agree with you. I love it. Anything else, Miss BJ?
No, you guys just have a wonderful evening, and thanks for having me on. And you guys take care, and keep doing what you're doing. You're informing us. You keeping the information out there, because local news ain't showing nothing local but a bunch of madness and insanity. So thanks, you guys, for being our place of peace and laughter, if nothing else.
Come back and see us again.
Okay, take care.
I have a question for you, Demetria, and I think this is important. And you covered this on the African Diaspora News Channel. Kamala Harris and a lot of these ghostwriters and people are running around here talking about Joe Biden has done for the Black community. Could you please tell us, what has Joe Biden's administration done for the Black community specifically in regards to getting us to vote for them? Anything? You know what I'm saying? Because this is the spill. Because when you talk to even Democrats and other people, they'll say, "Well, the student loan thing." Because remember, I showed you a long time ago how the student loan thing went, and it really wasn't. You had to qualify for this and qualify for that. So basically, you're not going to get the student loan. It's just a bunch of BS. So could you paraphrase what you had put out in the African Diaspora News Channel?
And I'm trying to think, because I put out so much information. I'm trying to think exactly.
Yeah, it has to do with that one writer that was like gaslighting.
Oh, yeah. So he was from a writer from the Griot, I think it was one of those Black publications. But he was basically saying that the Biden administration has done, so much for Black people. A matter of fact, let me see. I think I still got those in my notes. Let's see. And it was just like, come on, are you for real? Basically, it was Black men, right? That's the one he was saying Black men aren't leaving the Democrat Party.
Exactly.
It's not true. He's done all these things for Black men. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I might have deleted it. Let's see.
I mean, and if you guys saw that episode, you guys, total gaslighting. It was total gaslighting.
All right, so here I got it here. I didn't delete it. Okay, so they were saying stuff like the Biden administration helped secure roughly $100 billion in federal contracts for small and disadvantaged Black-owned businesses. They aggressively combat housing discrimination. Ain't we the most homeless? Also says that, okay, so the Black entrepreneurship is good, which I don't know, it may or may not be. Also, okay, that's talked about the John Lewis Voting Rights Act, which we don't even fit from, symbolism. Talking about the
Emmett Till bill.
Yeah, Emmett Till, the chokehold, no knock warrants, but we know all that is on the federal level. Joe Biden has no control over the state and local levels. He can only legislate on that level. Most Black people, Black men especially, are being choked out on a state and local level. Okay, Emmett Till anti-lynching bill is symbolism because lynching is Capital One, offense. So just adding that on is more symbolism. And the other thing is not just Black people, anybody else can be lynched. So not specifically for us. And the pardoning thing, as far as on all federal offenses for simple marijuana possessions, we know that there's more people in prison for simple marijuana possession or any marijuana possession, more on the state and local levels, not necessarily on the federal. So it's all symbolism. But that particular Black man writer was basically gaslighting and saying that Black men aren't leaving the way they're saying they are because Biden has done so much for them. It's like, yeah, okay, brother, whatever you say. All right, so let's see here. Brother Sammy says, Donovan, was that a Mother's Day joke about what Biden is right? Because it's like, maybe you know something, I don't know. Hassan, how you doing? See, Buckhorse says, yes. Okay, so you're talking about Sweets. Studio says, if someone told you that there was a monster at the end of the block, would you walk to the end of the block and not believe him, or would you stop to plan to walk to the end of the block? So somebody told me there was a monster at the end of the block. See, something like that, I would think long and hard. I would be like, well, why would you say that? I probably would not go down there just for my own safety reasons. Now, if I see nothing down there, then I'm like, okay, you tripping. You might want to cut it in half next time you smoke it, whatever it is. But if somebody's saying that, yeah, I'm gonna ponder as to why you're saying it. I'm not gonna just like, hey man, stop talking to me. I'm just going down there. Now I'm gonna ponder it for a minute to see exactly what we're talking about here. I guess. Clubber, you say, are they giving illegal immigrants in California mortgages, but they have no jobs or status? This tells you corporations are behind this. Yeah, $2.6 billion is what California will be spending for the migrants in their health care of any kind. Edwin says Black farmers could be a great start. Tangibles. Yeah, and Black farmers have been complaining for a very long time about how they're being left out of the equation, but it's just a liar is what that guy is. But they're working for the Democrats. But of course, I haven't did the local news in years. Every once in a while, I'll turn it on just to I listen to the radio a lot. So news on the radio. Soto says they keep talking about the same thing every election. So it shows they're not doing their job. They're not. They're really not. Damon says, where's our goddamn crime bill? Them folks got a real one effing quick. So they've had one, but they're trying to strengthen it. So there's certain things that you cannot say. Oh, by the way, I watched a really good movie, The Book of Clarence. Have y'all seen that movie? It's really, really good. I didn't realize it was so good, but it's really good. There's a lot of like some good gems on that movie, I'm like, wow. Because I saw some reviews on it that weren't good, and my daughter said, let's watch it because my sister told her it was good. So we watched it. I was like, this is really a good movie. The Book of Clarence. So I guess it's supposed to be the extra book in the Bible referring to Clarence. Lakeith Stanfield's the character, but an excellent movie. Excellent movie. JJ says, you're right, Donovan, but why trans people want to fit with the so-called identity they think they represent?
Yeah, and I answer that question too. It's because you notice the only people that don't have a problem with trans men competing are the LGBTQ women that think they're men. You see what I'm saying? So it's like they don't give a damn, because you ask the average woman, a real woman, everybody knows that's unfair. it's just unfair. I get so frustrated for the simple fact that in a real democracy, the majority sets the rules, not the minority. How the hell does the LGBTQ and all these minority groups get what they get, but the majority gets nothing? Nobody's listening to the majority. That's what it just chaps my hide.
Why do you think that is, though? Think about all the groups here.
Money.
There you go.
The money. It's all about the money. Who has the most money?
There you go. And power. Where there's money, there's power. Those people are usually, a little bit more organized than we are. I'll say that. A different view. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Buckhorse said, I don't get involved. Okay. So, Donovan, what else you want to talk about? We got 10 minutes.
Well, we can talk about single moms and the choices. No, I'm not even going to go there tonight. I'm not going to go there tonight.
Boy, I set myself up for that one, didn't I?
Yeah,
I opened up Pandora.
The problem with single moms and why Kevin Samuels was right. But anyway.
Hey, he's been gone, is it 2 years now? 3 years? Wow. 2 years.
Going on 3.
Time goes by so fast. My God.
Yeah. Outside of politics, let's talk about basically it is Mother's Day. So let's talk about what Mother's Day is supposed to mean. Now, you've got some really great moms out there. Just because you had a baby and dropped the baby, does that mean you deserve a Mother's Day because you could biologically drop a child? What does a Mother's Day actually supposed to mean in its context?
Hey Don, how you doing? I don't celebrate Mother's Day. I have celebrated Mother's Day before, but what I understand is just like Father's Day as well, to show appreciation on that specific day, even more so for your mom, and then you do that by gifts, or maybe you cook for her. I don't know, whatever how you ever show that. I'm just one of those people. I think you should show appreciation for your mother and your father every day. As I said, I have a pretty good kid, and she's appreciative. She shows me appreciative every day. For the most part, she's pretty good. So I don't feel like, in fact, I forbid her to buy me anything today. I was like, nah, don't go out and spend no money on me. Not on today. This is a commercial holiday. I think they said this is the holiday where card companies make the most money is on Mother's Day, which is fine. I'm not telling people not to do it. But I think it's supposed to just symbolize. It's a commercial holiday. It's a keep it buck. Okay, it's for people to make more money, because you should be appreciating your mom every day. And it shouldn't. I mean, if you feel like you need to go above and beyond for your mom on this particular day, you might want to rethink what you've been doing on the regular days. Other days, are you just kind of treating your mom like yesterday's leftovers? The rest of the days of the year, or what? We should be treating our moms like the queens that they are. And, I know a lot of people have had issues with their moms, but I just feel like my dad always says this. He says, your mom brought you into this world. The nation, they say that. Mom brought you into this world. That's thanks enough, right? Mom could have did something else with you, or whatever the case is. So I don't know. My mom's not here anymore, but I still appreciate her. Because my mom is passed on, but I still think about the things that she said or she would have said, or and the wise things that I still reference her. So it's not, I know physically she's not here. My mom's an ancestor now, so I still appreciate my mom. So, Brother Don, what's going on with you?
Loaded topic.
Yes, I see you got your back.
Oh, it's loaded with all kinds of little gems. First of all, do you know how many years it takes for you to become a teacher? You have to get a master's degree in education. And then you got to go through this whole credentialing process. How do you know this? I wanted to be a substitute teacher after I graduated from business school. I wanted to be a substitute teacher. They wouldn't have me. But I used to go to this Starbucks, and there was a high school that was up the street, up the block and around the corner. And they would come in before school, and I would take time out to talk to them, and particularly to talk to them about their history. And they're like, man, you should be a teacher. And I'm like, yeah, I tried that. Just even trying to be a substitute. The thing is, they don't want people like him in front of the classroom. They don't want people like me. They don't want people like Donovan. Intelligent Black men who hold their masculinity. But also at the same time, we have no problem showing the tender side of who we are in the appropriate situation. If those were 5 little Black boys taking his braids down, I don't think they would have had a problem. But because these people project who they are upon us, they do it all the time. We are not over-sexualized. They are. That's why they get down with goats and sheep and everything else. Dogs and cats. It's crazy. They project on us all the time who and what they are. So let's stop it. And for them bootlicks that are joining in, oh, this man was a this, this man was a that. Now you got me looking at you kind of sideways. Because now some of y'all get up there and say that, and you know you got pedos in your family. Ain't Helen and Uncle George. But you ain't gonna say nothing about that. So shut up. Sit down. And be quiet. Trying to bait, whatever that is, clickbait, whatever y'all doing. You know, these are people's lives you're fooling with. Oh, I get 1 million clicks on this, I might get monetized. You sound like Jimbo Clyburn with your damn catfish nuggets and shit. And for the rest of y'all that want to talk about men, don't cry. Gee, I seem to remember, for all you Christians, I seem to remember King David. And that's somebody you ain't gonna stand before. I don't care how manliest of man you are. He's a bloody man of war. And oh yeah, let me not forget this. Jesus wept, and I land there.
Ooh, my Lord. Well, thank you for that. You have anything else to add?
No, I was gonna hang on for a minute if you want to converse. I got the shades on because I needed the lights.
I see.
Because yesterday I had bought a product and they didn't put the warning up big enough for me to see it, that you shouldn't use this product while you're in the house. So I got corneal burns. My attorney will be talking to them. Yeah, my attorney will be talking to them, but I needed some forward light. So, yeah, so anyway.
Well, we're actually going to get off of here in about 5 minutes or so. So next time, come up a little earlier.
All right, my dear.
All right, thank you.
All right, take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes, indeed. Jesus.
So before we go, I want to talk real quick. I need to get your opinion on Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard. That area up there in Dalton has gone viral. It's gone worldwide. I know a lot of people in the chat have heard about this chick. Another city girl mayor. Let's name them. You got a city girl mayor in New Orleans. You got Fannie Willis, the DA. You got all these professional, educated women out of control. What is your opinion if you are familiar with this lady and what is going down? It's Mother's Day. She's a mother herself. The FBI, the DOJ is on the ground investigating her. What do you say is the outcome of this situation? Because she keeps talking about, I got receipts. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. Let me educate y'all. But she never seems to hold it. The whole conundrum of this situation is she's not showing how she's spending the money. She's not showing the receipts. So what is your outcome if you're familiar with this young lady?
I'm trying to, and hello, BJ, how you doing? So I am very familiar with Tiffany Henyard out there in Dalton, outside of Chicago. From what I understand, she's the mayor of a town about 20,000 people, so it's a pretty small township. She's also, and she calls herself the super mayor because she's also the super, intendant or whatever it is of the city, the supervisor rather.
Yeah, it's kind of like a county.
So she's got 2 jobs. Sounds like between the both of them, she's drawing, was it about $350 a year or something like that? So she's coined herself super mayor. Of course, we talked about her a lot. She is the Nino Brown, if you will, of the town. Like literally, she showed up to a meeting playing around like Nino Brown. She had the fake dog and everything. And y'all know Nino Brown is a fictional character in New Jack City, Wesley Snipes. So I guess she wanted to run a town like Nino Brown, and people complained about her spending habits. The police budget is overinflated because police officers were getting overtime to guard her, and I'm like, the town don't seem like it's that big. So what are you doing with 5, 6 security or police officers who are moonlighting as bodyguards on their time off? So she's spending money on that. Sounds like the cars were going to get repossessed at one point in time. She's spending taxpayers' money flying to Vegas. Sounds like when they were at Vegas, it was some sexual assault allegations going on one of her staffs. She's also hired her homeboy who had he was in jail for, the ultimate of taking from a woman along with some of his peers. He's like a code enforcer or something, and it might have to go into the homes where people have children. He's an offender registered, so he can't be doing that. Nevertheless, FBI finally took up the case. She was bullying and targeting business people because they wouldn't donate to her campaign. So she hindered their licenses for their businesses and just a whole bunch of gangster stuff, right? I think she's like 40 years old, so she's young. And so she sat there on the dais talking to people crazy. We black, y'all black. Why y'all messing with me? Because I'm a black woman. So nevertheless, the FBI is now giving her a couple of weeks or so, months, maybe a month or so, to produce your paperwork. Since you roll around with receipts, let us see them, is what they're saying. Let us see, so we can make sure that everything you've been doing lines up. Because if we find out that you've been misappropriating these people's funds, well, you know what happens with that, right? See, the thing about that is, super mayor with anybody, it's this I deem them to be megalomaniacs, right? Like, who gonna check me, boo? I'm the one with the gavel. You don't tell me what to do. I'm telling you what to do. But see, what they forget is you were sent to office to serve. You are not sent to be served. And so with her, she thinks that I'm here, y'all peons. You're just like, she's treating it like a kingdomship, if you will. Like, I'm you my loyal subjects. And it's not that way. And so they've also tried to recall her, was not successful. But they nevertheless want her gone. But now she might be gone sooner and in a way that she doesn't like. If I was her and I knew that the people had to drop on me in that way, I would have said, bet, I'm out. Do y'all mind if I stay the supervisor though? Or whatever. And if they said no, I would have left. But now that the alphabet boys is on your doorstep, you're going to have to answer to them. And what city bylaws does it say that the taxpayers need to be paying for your hair and your makeup and nails and all of that? Donovan, you're familiar with city councils. Have you ever heard of your city council saying, oh, I know they get stipends, maybe for a car or something like that, but your makeup and your hair and your nails?
Yeah, the sad thing is, okay, the state of Illinois has the most convicted politicians in the United States in its history. It's just a culture there. So what a lot of people, us being from California, Texas, whatever, to us, it's like outrageous what she's doing. But what she's doing, in my opinion, is no different than her predecessors. The only problem is she's a TikTok star. She's trying to, she's out front with it. Whereas if she had just been cool and kind of just stayed behind the scenes and just stole the money like most politicians do, because let's face it, you guys ain't gonna do nothing about it. You got politicians right now in your city stealing money, and as long as it's not outrageous, there's nothing wrong with a little getting your beak wet. There's nothing wrong with a little getting your beak wet type stuff. We get a little cut off the top. Sal needs a little cut. It's nothing wrong with that. So what she's doing to me is really nothing different, except that now she's the first Black woman and a young Black, 40 years old to me is not young, but she's the youngest that was elected. She was elected at like 37 or whatever. But the point is she's 40 now. And the sad thing about it is, especially for that township as the supervisor. Now, Dalton is 90% Black town, but those other towns are white. Do you think after this disaster they're going to put a black person, much less a black woman, in that position to be the supervisor of the township after this. And see, and that's the sad thing, that when we get into these elected offices, we don't represent the people anymore. We represent the party, or we represent ourselves. You know what I mean? We just forget about where we come from. But one thing I know about the white folk is they gave you a shot, and they're going to now measure everybody that comes up behind her. I'm talking about the township, not the city of Dalton. I'm talking about the township, based on this woman's performance. And you're not going to see a black woman in that position for a long time.
I mean, you may and you may not. And yeah, indeed, there's other politicians who do it. The problem with us, when we get in places of positions and we don't have the best intentions, we don't know how to shut the hell up. Okay. We flashy. We having Nino Brown show up at the damn city hall meetings, and you flashy, you got all these bodyguards and you got these big billboards and stuff. It's like, we just don't know how to just do it on the low. We talk too much as a people. Godly, we just run our mouth. If I was stealing, I'm not going to be telling everybody I'm doing it. And that's how a lot of people with these PPP loans got caught, because they all up on the internet. They own boats. They got boats and hoes. They got, the cars and the Louis and the Uchis and the Gucci's. Now, most people like, now I know Boom Quisha and Pookie, they working at Wendy's. What, they hit the lotto? How they come up? Then people, that Tom and Jerry meme. I think somebody you need to talk to. They around here doing it big. Now, I know they working at Wendy's and they got a Bugatti sitting in the driveway. That's because you all up on the internet talking about this. And I'm not advocating that people commit crimes, but my Lord, an old man once back when I was in high school told me this. I never forgot it. He had to be in his 80s. He says, back in the day, you didn't know who the gangster was, because the gangster may have had a suit on, or you didn't know who he was, right? Think about the Valentine's Day massacre, right? They sitting
Remember
there.
Goodfellas? Remember, what did the wife say? Oh, we went vacations. We did this together. You didn't really know.
But the point is, back in those days, you didn't know who it was. It was easy to pop somebody, right? But he says, you think about it now. Says gangsters are running around with colors, representing they set. They got, so he said everybody knows who the gangster is now. He said, so that's the problem. Back then, they moved in silence. They need to take somebody out. You would never know it, right? But the point I'm saying is, we talk so. I talked about this other thing. The passport boy movement, the brothers movement. That's not new. It's new to y'all. I'm not saying you, Donovan. I'm saying it's new to y'all, because you Negroes is on the internet with these women, and it's almost like y'all ain't never had no woman before. But the white men was doing it years and years and years. They moving, esoterically. But like I said, they give you guys a social media account, cell phone, a passport, and $5, and you're gonna be bragging about how much you bought. And now you raising the now everybody knows about it. These countries are like, wait a minute, now y'all doing what with our women? Like, we knew they was doing it, but y'all letting them know y'all doing it. So what I'm saying is, you riding dirty, just, put your seatbelt on and keep it pushing. Don't get your ass in the carpool lane if you got one person in the car with you.
And the thing is, there's over $4 million in checks that haven't been cashed. They've been dispersed, but they haven't been cashed. And, you look, these people are looking at federal time. And then, for her support is dwindling, not because she's doing something that they don't know that she's not doing, but when you lock people out of city buildings and all this other, it's just the things that she does that is so retaliatory in regards to the citizens. And that's what's going to be her downside. For some reason, we abuse our own. And that's why I know we're from Africa, because if you look at our mannerisms here, it's no different than a warlord tribalism in Africa that we do here. It's just very sad. So again, I don't think she's doing anything different than what she's doing. And then to do it for 3 years, and the attorney general, even after people have asked the attorney general of the state to come and investigate, guess what the attorney general is? He's a Democrat.
And not only that, they were there before. Now they really ramping it up. So more than likely, they know she ain't above board, and they're just asking her, "Well, prove it. Let's see all the receipts for all these transactions that you made with these people money." And 70 DRC says most of the surrounding towns are black. I used to live in the South burbs. Okay. Yeah, I'm just saying, y'all just move in silence, but people, boy, I tell you, why we don't need to know what you're doing. I promise you, we don't. Soto says, just face it. Today's black people don't.
But I got the receipts. I got the receipts. I don't know what y'all talking about. Let me educate you. Let me educate y'all. This woman went to college and she's talking street. It's like she just draws attention to herself. It's just so
the other thing is, why was she an acceptable option to vote on the dais?
That's what I'm saying. She was on the dais before that. So it ain't like the people didn't know what they were getting. See, so my point is this, and Demetra and I have been talking about this. Brother Phil's been talking about this. A lot of you guys are already woke up, but we've been talking about this. Just because somebody looks black and you think that they're for you, they're not. You got to research these people, because what they've done is what they're going to do. It's as simple as that.
And a different view say, is this the question you want me to? Hey, Easy, how you doing? Is this the question of the day that you were mentioning? You said, what's wrong with expressing your blessing? Ain't nothing wrong with it. I mean, I'm not saying there's something wrong with expressing your blessings, but I'm saying that when you're doing something you ain't supposed to be doing, why are you running your mouth? You know what I'm saying? The internet, you know how many people got caught on the internet and they riding dirty, they committing crimes and stuff, and they flashing it because they got this insatiable need that there used to be, and it still is, an insatiable need to know. Now it's this insatiable need for me to let you know. Oh, I went out and I had some Chipotle. I had some Wingstop. It's like, all right.
Yeah, or during the pandemic, some of those girls took, a lot of people took money, but a lot of the women went and got BBLs and got their bodies done. And you're like, wait a minute, you work at Taco Bell. Where did you get this kind of money? It was crazy.
Yeah, just keep it to yourself. We're going to see your big booty if we out and about in town, But yeah, I don't know. People just talk too much. It amazes me. My mom used to always say that. She says criminals get caught because they tell somebody, and then that person tells somebody. That's why it's not such thing as a perfect crime. One of the reasons is people talk too much. You went and took out a whole town, and then you went and told somebody you did it, and you think they ain't gonna say nothing, huh? Yeah, okay, all right.
Good example. I'm in the DR. A lot of people were saying this. Donovan, you don't post nothing when you're down in the DR. No, I don't.
Hey, Lisa, how you doing? Hey, Brother Jonelle, how are you? Thank you. And let's see here. And M, what's going on with you? Says, I'm late. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you as well, if you're a mother. 70 DRC says, back in the 70s and 80s, the South Burbs were white, and so now they're black. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the white flight, it always happened. And you did a story on white flight, Demetra.
I did. And the Baton Rouge, them white folks talking about we need our own town. It's called St. George now. They want the legal right to do that, and people are mad because they're saying now the resources are going to go to them, which it may be true, but it's like y'all should be celebrating that them people getting away from you.
Right. It's not that's 30 miles. That's about 30 miles from my hometown, my birth town.
Yeah, let them people move. Bye. Yeah, just be quiet. People, I swear, people don't know how to be quiet. They just talk too much. And y'all know I always talk about that too. The side piece back in the day, the side piece didn't talk as much. And listen, I'm not advocating for side pieces. I've never been one. I've had men who've had one. But back in the day, side pieces didn't talk a lot. Because for one, side pieces had a reason not to talk. Okay, side pieces were more like the kept woman. So she had an incentive, or he, if that was your flavor. They had the rent paid, the mortgage, the car, the credit card, and I ain't gonna blow this spot up. But nowadays, side pieces are talking because y'all want to give them a piece of pizza in 2 minutes. And then she gets sprung, talking about when you come back, why you got to spend Christmas with your wife. Then, she tell on you, she make a whole post on Facebook or get in the inbox and all that other stuff telling on you. So what I'm saying is, if you're going to have a side piece, you're going to have to do better than just, Little Caesar's pizza. because she can buy her own pizza. Let's see here. Edwin says, ill-gotten goods are not blessings. Right. Miss Sweet says, I learned my lesson to be quiet. Yeah, we ain't got to always be talking about what we doing. One who cares how you doing says, what happens whenever it takes place? Whatever happened to whenever it takes place, it stays there, right? Like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Easy says, sorry, happy Mother's Day to all the ladies. Well, thank you. Wilbur says, I got to I go to my children's functions in different families, get-togethers, and I don't post anything because I'm enjoying the moment. Yeah, I used to post a lot. I don't do it anymore. Absolutely, I post my own stuff, but like if I'm going somewhere, I'm like that too. I'm in the moment. I'm at the concert or wherever I'm at. I don't care if everybody knows that I'm there because I don't want to miss it. Trying to make sure y'all know I'm there. You know, I want to see what's going on. And let's see. Brother Sammy says black skin is the greatest camouflage white people used to get among us. The public food system has effectively replaced our minds with theirs, thus turning most of us into white supremacists. You said a word right there, and a lot of us don't even know we operate as tools of white supremacy. Absolutely. Miss Weisha says white flight in Louisiana. Yeah, they want to be amongst themselves. Like y'all should go do that. You know, that's what happened to us in civil rights. I want to be with them. Why?
And remember, these are the children of the liberals that marched for civil rights in the 60s. Their children want to separate. How did they come to that kind of idea?
Yeah. That granddaddy was taking care of two families, and you know, they didn't even know about each other most of the time. She like, I'm not messing up my good thing. I know Miss Mabel, I'm with Miss Mabel's husband, but Miss Mabel's husband paying these bills. You know, I'm not advocating.
A couple of towns over. He didn't do it like in the same neighborhood.
And even if he did, you know, the neighborhood hussy wasn't talking because she wasn't working, and he was paying her bills. She's like, I know she made him pot roast tonight. Tomorrow I'm making him some fried chicken. Okay. Again, I'm not advocating for that. All right, so let's see. We're about to get out of here. United States America President 48. And how you doing, by the way? It says your voting power comes from leverage, which is living in communities only, no neighborhoods. So remember that in the game of American politics system or dealing with politicians in public office. Got it. Just as be quiet and don't cry. You crazy and don't cry. Brother Sam says live outside, peace, inflation, and it's 2-minute business. I'm just saying. I mean, come on, let's be, Brother Samuel, you are a mathematician. Like he's literally a math teacher. Let's do some math. Y'all got 2 minutes and audacity to have a side piece. How many minutes is she getting? If you're giving your wife 2 minutes, what do you have left over to give the side piece? Y'all just having a good conversation, you know? I know the answer to that, but my dad is probably going to be watching, so I'm going to be good. Because somebody once told me that the side piece, how can I say this? The side piece sometimes lets him use holes that the wife won't let them use.
It's a necessary evil. Some people got needs out here. It's a necessary evil.
That's what I heard. I don't know how true it is, you know, but you want to use the holes that your wife ain't letting you use, and you want to bring over 2 pieces of biscuit in 2 minutes. Thank you, Buckhorse. Miss Sweet said side piece thinks she got more rights than the wife. But who's
see? That's where I draw the line with the law. These side pieces should not be getting the same benefits.
But brother, before you draw that line, why does she think she got more rights than the wife or as the wife?
Oh, I don't know. I don't care.
That's because the men let her. You know, the men let her be walking tall and talking tough, and you need to do this, and your wife and I should just be having. And also, side piecery. Back in the day, it used to be a day or two. Y'all getting relationships with side pieces. You know what I mean? So, of course, she's going to start to feel like she should have the privilege. I'm telling you, I know side pieces, not that I have it. I just got to feel like I say that because, you know, like I said, a side piece has, you know, been on the other side of my relationships too. But whenever I talk to side pieces and they're first starting this side piece hustle, they're like, I don't care. I'm glad he got a wife. That way he go home to have, we just have fun. Like, for real? Oh, okay. Then a couple of months down the road, I just don't understand why he can't spend no holidays with me. It's like, you knew the job was dangerous before you took it. You know why he can't spend holidays with you? Because he got a whole wife and kids at home. So what he's going to tell his wife? I'm going to be with her over there for Christmas, And so normally the side piece tell, because she tired of being a dirty little secret, even though that's what she is, right? She tired of that, so she tells. But the problem with the telling is now the wife, especially if the man is taking care of the wife, she's like, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not leaving my man. You ain't the first side piece he had. You ain't gonna be the last. Now the man knows that y'all know about each other. And he's like, the hard part is over. They both know about each other. So when I come up missing, she know where I'm at. I'm just saying, I've seen it all. I promise you, I've seen it all. Miss Sweet says, exactly, because the wife ain't doing all that. Yeah, I mean, but as I always say, don't ask me to do something I can't do to you. I'm just saying. Some of them hoes ain't for all of that, So sure, you first. No, that's how I feel. So why do you want to do that to me?
Now, us old school people, that would be an abomination. But the way these young people are doing stuff now, it'd be like, okay, who's that girl that's really fine? That black chick, she was married to the pastor. And the pastor divorced her. Megan Good is her name?
Oh yeah, I can't remember his name, but
but remember she was in that show, and I guess one of the episodes, whatever the show it was, she was in an intimate setting with this dude, and I guess he wanted her to toss his salad or something. It was crazy, and she was just like in the show. And
I watched one episode of that.
Yeah, it was crazy.
This ain't for me.
But that's what they're doing nowadays. This newer generation, there's no taboos. There's no taboos anymore. It's like a norm. I mean, you can't even earn it. You don't even have to earn it anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, it's an equal opportunity. If I can't do it to you, you can't do it to me. I'm just saying. Don't get your face all frowned up when I say, let's do you first. Don't be getting all offended, right? What? Why is it good for me? I'm just saying. If it's going to hurt you, you don't think it's going to hurt me?
Well, technically, you're women, so you guys are built for that. You guys are receivers.
Oh, sir. Some of those holes got an exit, not an entrance. Okay? It was not made for that at all. But like I said, you first. You first. Judge said women don't want a man that other women don't want. You said a word right there. I'm telling y'all, ladies, if you got a man, keep him a secret. Because the minute you happy, I got a man at home. Oh, God. Then you start posting pictures of him, and then you get these evil heifers. Oh, yeah? I wonder if I can take her man. And some of them brothers is real weak, and yeah, she can take your man. It is what it is.
Song's done about it. What was the song?
I take your man whenever I feel like it. I hate this song to the day. But when I exercise, it helps me get out of aggression. But yeah, that song, they actually kind of wrote that about me at one point in time. I take your man. Like, yikes. At least it says you'll be in diapers before you leave this earth. Ooh, I hope not. I hope I leave before I get back to that. Yeah, well, of course, Judge says, who has the most side pieces, men or women? Probably both the same. I think women are probably just good at keeping the side pieces a secret. Y'all, one day, she come home talking about, we ain't gonna make it. It ain't you, it's me. And you're like, you got another man? Nah, I ain't another man. I just, I need to go find myself. I need to reevaluate some things. I need to contemplate the meaning of life.
Yeah, me and the girls are gonna go down to Jamaica, and we're just gonna go on a girls' trip.
Yeah,
just you and your girlfriends. Just me and my girlfriends.
Yeah, and then she didn't have a goal posting, and you don't know nothing about a goal posting for a whole nother dude out there in them streets. score. She just, and you're like, well, okay. Had a whole nother man. But women are really, they don't, that women are more, I think, more clever with the whole, dude on the side. Y'all never know. Just, it ain't you, it's me. Just, some things I need to think about. I still love you though, but I kind of want to go it alone right now. I'm not saying it's forever. I'm just saying right now, I've never done that, but I know people who have, Brother Sammy says, now mathematically, X female can only have one Y female and be functioning in a relationship. However, the X is the independent variable that has to agree to the arrangement. I see what you did there. I'm trying to calculate in my head. Yeah, technically, a woman can have. Never mind.
I'll sum it up for you. In the DR, the women that are down there, we have a saying in the Dominican Republic. You don't lose there's no need to fight over these girls. You just got to wait your turn.
My Lord. My God. Judge says, my girlfriend got a girlfriend. I'm the side piece. I bet you not complaining about that one, huh? Easy says, I agree, D, but that cell phone is the ultimate clue. Watch how she move on the cell phone. Yeah, but see, a lot of women ain't like y'all men. Y'all like to dip off. I'm tell y'all a story. I ain't told y'all a story in a while. So, I was married to a truck driver for 10 months. I'm always going to tell y'all it was 10 months because it wasn't that long, but we were together a lot longer than we were married. So anyway, I was on the road with him for about 30 days. Oh my God, 30 days. So when he would get to stops, we had to get out and talk to the people about the load and stuff. So I'm in the truck and I'm like, damn, this sucker been gone for a minute. It was like an hour. And so I leaned over and I looked into his, because the trucks have big mirrors. So I looked into the mirror and I could see him way at the back of the truck and he's pacing around on the phone. I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's talking to a dispatch or something. So some more time goes by and he's back there. He's just chilling. He's just talking on the phone. And I get out the truck and I look, that joker almost dropped that damn phone. He got off the phone real fast and it didn't dawn on me till like when I really understood that he was cheating. I'm like, this mother was boo thing and I'm in the truck. So what I'm saying is, men, y'all sloppy with y'all. Y'all real sloppy. Y'all, especially, this is how y'all get caught. I'm going to help y'all out, okay? This is how y'all get caught. Y'all oogling and googling and giggling and laughing. It's like, I know damn well he talking to a woman. He ain't talking to his homeboys. That's how y'all get caught.
Maybe I was talking to my mama.
Your mama making you. Because before you was talking to your mama had to call you 10 times before you answer. You'd be like, baby, ain't your mama been calling? Your mama called me, asked me where you was. And you sitting right here, why you ain't answering the phone? Your mama been calling.
My mama called you asking you why am I not picking up?
Yeah. Oh, mama, he ain't giggling on the phone with you. Just light as a feather. But then he came in the door, you like, that's how you talk to your wife, but you on the phone just legs crossed and just feet just twirling and you just, I'll be getting caught. Let's see here. Brother Sam, you say, Dr. Francis Crest Wells said the white gold pole symbolized the white woman's upright legs. Yes, some of these sisters got some gold posts too. Judge says a lot of women try to sniff me when I got home. Cause you know what that's about. You know why your woman was sniffing you. You know damn well. Cause listen. I'm gonna help y'all out. Okay, I'm gonna write a book on this. Trust me. Man, you get sniffed because for one thing, you probably wasn't answering your phone. Probably came home extra late. You was missing in action. But let me tell you how you get caught. You're getting caught if you don't take a shower because you got old girl funky cat on you still. Okay. You also get caught because you're taking showers and soaps that I don't buy. What kind of soap is that, boo? I usually buying some zest around here. You smelling like Dawn or Dove or something. So why did you take a shower at work? I know your job ain't got showers. So what is this about? That's how y'all get caught. I would tell you how not to get caught, but I ain't gonna give you suckers the game.
Right. Now I gotta correct you. It's not Funky Cat. It's called a Funky Box. Funky Box.
Funk box. But that's why you be getting sniffed. And another thing too is other people's scents. Like if you're with somebody and you know each other's scents, right? Not necessarily that you smell bad, you know they scent, but then you smell something else, you're like, honey, I think she has an infection. You know.
You're smelling the open wound.
Yeah, like what was you doing? I'm fierce for reading. I'm gonna tell them but I ain't
do you
gonna
know
tell
what's sad about that whole thing? Somebody will still get into that funk box. No matter how bad it is, somebody will still get into that funk box.
Listen, I've spoken to men who have said they knew that it was a funk box and they did it anyway. I'm like, how horrible were you? That
no, it's not even that. See, look, I'm going to break it down to you. And ladies, you might not understand it, but the fellas understand. As a woman, you could go outside and say, who wants to have sex with me? Somebody's going to have sex with you because it's, thing. Men, we don't have that opportunity. Sex for men is opportunity. It's like happenstance by luck because we can't go out there and say, who wants to have sex with me? And a bunch of women are going to line up. That doesn't happen. So men, excuse me, especially single men, have sex based on opportunity.
Yeah, some of that opportunity is funky. And Miss Sweet says men are very sloppy. Do all truck drivers cheat? I don't want to deal in absolutes, but I would say probably most of them do. Okay, most of them probably do. My ex-husband had a how you usually have a woman in every state. He had one in every township, province, municipality. He had one everywhere. Okay, my God, I'm lucky to be here, and so was he. Yeah. And Brother Sam says women look for those confluence points before they confront. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Y'all ain't slick. Y'all be doing the most. You ain't you take a shower once a week and now you taking one every day. That's a red flag. It's another red flag. Ladies, I'm not giving them all the game. They it's another red flag. Y'all know the song Tonight by John Legend. Tonight's the night. I hate that song. You know why I hate that song? Because that sucker came off the road one day. It was tonight. Please sing that song. Every time it come on right, he was just into the song. Then I just figured it must be because him and one of his side chicks, they liked the song. But he was just so into that song. And to this day, when I hear that song, my eyes turn red. Like I want to, I have PTSD. So y'all be doing a little too much when y'all get something new. Be walking around floating on air. So just so you know. And Wilbur says, a man can do everything right and still get screwed. Yeah, you're right. I totally agree with you. But for them cheating suckers, they deserve just everything bad. I like this conversation too, Miss Sweets. Soda says, my uncle said he would rub some car oil on him before he got home. Fierce for reading. I'm not going to give it all away, but guess what? Even if I did, they ain't going to stop. I'm not saying them. I'm saying dudes to be cheating. And I'm just saying women are just better at it, right? She concocted a whole scenario. Me and my mama going on the women's retreat with the church. And we're not going to be able to be reached because we're going to be up in the mountains. And, they tell us to keep our cell phones in the cabin because that way we could just be one with the Lord without any distractions. So if you can't reach me, don't worry. As soon as I get back to my room, I'm going to call you back. Okay, honey? I've made you 5 days worth of food in the refrigerator. All you got to do is take it out, heat it up. And everything you need is right there. Like, see, the women, They make sure no stone is unturned at the house. Men, though, y'all just do a 180, right? Y'all just completely just start doing something different. But the women, y'all never know because you're still eating. Everything is just still in place at the household. And she just went off on a retreat at the church with her mama. Wilbur says, I smelled cigarettes from the other cat on my ex. Oh my God. Yeah, see, yeah, she wrong for that. I'm gonna have to talk to her. I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Edward, you said cat box. And how you doing? M says, them black box is gonna get you in big trouble. They don't care. They don't care. Anita says, sure would swan dive into it repeatedly. They would. Miss Sweet says, infection pH balance is off. Yeah, and they want to come home talking about what's for dinner. So it's like, smell like you already had it and it was rotten. Brother Salmon says, the nature of a female and animal species is to rub her scent on the male. He says, oxygen soap is a secret to uproot her scent from under the skin and not just the surface. But what you doing smelling like that when you went to work? Now you took a shower. Why are you taking showers between work and home? Huh? Why? You was coming home. Why you take a shower here? See, that's where I will go with it.
Now, Fierce for Reading says, she has a thing with smells and stuff like that. But I'm trying to tell her, not every man, if the funk box is, most guys were probably like, nah, I'm good or whatever, go shower, do something. But because men are programmed that way, there are men, a woman could be totally on the fish salad side and they would still get with her. Because it's about opportunity, it's just some guys will do it.
Yeah. Why? Just so it's just like any hole will do. Is that what that is? Just any hole?
See, what you women don't understand is how important sex is to men in our daily lives to motivate us to do certain things. See, you guys just be playing these games with it, but sex in a man's basic daily, yearly life is very important. So that's why when your wife cuts you off and stuff, a guy is determined to go get it somewhere else. You're going to drive that guy to go somewhere else to get it. And I've been married before, and we know women's pH balance goes off or whatever. And a guy will tell you sometimes you'll be with this fine chick, and at first there's something going on, and then it goes away. But guys, because we're programmed that way, we're gonna, not all guys, but a lot of guys will still do what they need to do. That's just how we're programmed.
The way I want to throw up just thinking about that is insane. Brother Salmon says, my dad used to say women cheat while holding your hand. I'm telling you why they do it, because it's like, I ain't going to give him no indication that something is off, right? I've been holding his hand. I stopped holding his hand. Now he's going to be like, what's wrong? Then his little antenna is going to go up, so women, they do everything they was doing. You never know. Where your wife at? She's in the mountains in a women's retreat with the church. And they believe it, right? Because she's covered all the bases. She come back, she gonna probably give you some because you've been gone for a while. She been gone, she ain't gonna miss a beat.
Something's always up when she goes, I shot the sheriff.
Hey. Woo!
When she's singing and cooking, frying up your fish and stuff, fellas, she's with somebody.
Right.
She's with somebody.
Yeah, talk about. Yeah, I'll be talking about, I know when a woman gave my woman more than 2 minutes. Look like you're dancing around like it had 3. Easy says, can reach mean someone else have reached? They might have, I'm just trying to, let y'all know these things are happening. Miss Sweet says, smell like you already have. That's what they don't care. Just, they don't.
Yeah, a man's carnal desire, a smell is not going to stop him if he has been emptied without sex for a long time. Some guys are like, shit, I've been in a dry spot for a while. It depends on who the guy is. Some guys just don't care. I was, especially like, okay, I'm not trying to down Marines, but when I was in the Middle East and stuff, oh my God, you're with a chick, a fellow armed services lady, and I don't know if your average logical thinker is still on here. Some of you guys that are vets, you're out in the field. Some of these guys were out in the field for, girls and guys were out in the field for a couple of days. They don't care. They don't care. The women only have certain wipes. You know, you only do so much, and they were still hitting it.
I mean, I see some people, and I'm like, somebody laying down with you. They laying there giving. I don't know. I'm with you, Fierce for Reading. I can't touch nothing that smells bad either. I don't even know how you just. I couldn't do it. Miss Sweet says, so I can't take a break with my, he says, so I can't take a break with my kitty cat. How many times a week should a husband, and oh Lord, we didn't win. Oh Lord.
I'm going to answer that question. She should give it to her husband as much as she possibly can. As much as she possibly can, because that's where his level is. However, you guys are married or whatever your situation, he cares for you. He's not going to, hopefully he won't make you do more than what you can do.
Yeah, you know, I mean, my God, can I get a break? You know, I'm just saying, I get it. But damn, a little recess here, you know, some time out.
Or use your womanly skills for that one time and knock his socks off that one time where he's going to take a break a day or two in between, right?
A day or two, damn.
I mean, if she's that good, some guys be like, oh man, I'm drained. I need 2 or 3 days to fill the reservoir back up.
I got you. Yeah, mine too, Fierce for Reading. My gag reflex is through the roof. And I think we should clarify, okay? Because my God, we're talking about smell. Albie says, let me see 3 times 7. He says equal 12. 21 maybe. My math, I don't know. I don't know if that's 12. The judges, I have a hazmat suit for extreme. Y'all crazy. So you gonna put your hazmat suit on? How nasty. Booker says, white boy Ron, they asked him to smell the females. He said, I don't care. Wilbur says, nah, son, I've never been that desperate. If I'm gonna shave and wash it, I expect the same in return. Right? She been running around town all day, you know, from sun up to sundown, then hop into bed with you. Disrespectful.
How many of these fellas out here that are dating and have babies for these strippers, and they think that she comes home ultimately fresh? Come on.
Right. Easy says, remember what you don't do, won't do, someone else will. Yeah, I mean, but brother, can I get a break? You want to treat me like a trampoline 7 days a week? My God. Sometimes I just want to get in
his level.
Sometimes I just want to get in bed and go to sleep. Okay. Sometimes I don't feel like the trampoline action. Sometimes
when I first you met, baby. Just lay back and open your mouth.
It also says, what does the rest of that say? What does the rest of that song say? It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. So if you cool with your homies having some, you've seen the whole song, Donovan. Seen the whole song. Okay. Good Lord. I know what you meant, Fierce for Reading. I know what you meant. Brother Sam says, holistically, according to the late Dr. Africa, the formula is your age times 0.2. Otherwise, it work against your sexual health. I get it, but I'm trying to think what that means for me. I'm up there in age, so we're like once every 2 years. Is that what that means? Yeah, Miss Sweets, a rest is needed. My God, you just that hurts.
Well, you better hope you have a long cycle.
But then, y'all ladies, if you really think about it this way, what's 2 minutes? What's 2 minutes? You just.
Thank you. Exactly. If it's just 2 minutes, 2 minutes of your time is 14 minutes out of the week.
Look. 2 minutes. So it may not be that bad after all. Yeah, Fierce for Reading, you need a break. My God. They talking about you wouldn't let me, all every day of the week, so I went off with her. Okay. And Brother Sammy says formula for how many days between sex and holistic health. Got you. Miss Sweets is like 7 days a week. What the hell? My God, Judge, you talk about won't you take me to Funky Town? It's gonna be funky if y'all doing that much. My God. Brenda says some white women say they do not shower every day. The whole family don't take showers every day. Yep, they have admitted that. Wilbur says, when I met you last night, baby, but sing the whole song. The whole song. Brother Sammy says, once every 10.6 days, so at one point every 10 is all right. That's reasonable.
Okay, I'm gonna break it down, and I'm gonna tell you.
Roughly 4 minutes a month.
Right. But I'm gonna break this down. I was down in the Dominican Republic, right? Plenty of chicas running around. Everything's good, right? As beautiful and as great as I think I am, there was no way humanly possible I am having relations every day. It wasn't happening. It wasn't happening for me. It wasn't.
Yeah, because when you get that old, you usually have about 2 minutes every 2 weeks that you can really give it the.
No. When you get my age, you get into bed and you get your medicine, you start reading the bottle. Oh, wow. Pyrethrones, all the big hard words. and you're just conversating. And by the time you're conversating, you sleep.
With your bifocals and your reading glasses, now you're looking over the glasses and
and then you're asleep and then you fall asleep and you're like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah, you be all geared up and ready to go, and then you get in the bed and you be out. You be like, thank God he went to sleep. You rolling over real soft, like you don't want to wake him up because he might forgot that he still got 2 minutes left. Yeah, that's horrible. Miss Sweet says they don't care about our cycles either. JJ says that's the man anthem. Ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. I'm saying just sing it all, okay? Yeah, they don't bathe daily. Take a bath, people. Public service announcement: take a bath every day. Every day, hit some water to you. And if it's not every day, at least I'm not recommending it, but I'm saying at least let some water.
Yeah, and everybody's different. I was always taught you take a shower before you jump in the bed because, as you know, when you're sleeping, you sweat and stuff, and your sheets get, whatever. You should just stay a little fresher, a little longer.
Yeah, be trying to rearrange your organs. That's what to get you an older man. They ain't got it in them like they used to no more. Get you an older man,
nice and slow.
Yeah, right. Take them longer to listen. They be so old. Got 2 minutes. They don't even take the tube socks off. They get you one like that. They too tired to bend down and take the socks off. They get in there 2 minutes. You good. I'm not speaking from experience. I'm just saying I heard, right? They still keep the tube socks on and get in the bed. Because their feet be cold, And if their feet is cold, then something else might be cold. So they got a lot working against them.
Can't find the blue pill, the bottle, forgot to refill the bottle, all of that.
Right. You got to talk dirty to them. Making some chicken tomorrow. You want some gravy with it? How about 2 biscuits, baby? Yeah, I'm going to get you that extra strength, Ben Gay.
True story. True story. This is a true story. Now, Demetra, I'm going to tell you. Remember that video? That video I sent you of old girl cleaning up my room? I was like, yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. There she goes. Uh-huh. Oh, get the corner. Total turn on.
You had your tube socks on, didn't you? All the way up to one slouch down, jumped in the
sack. No, it wasn't even tube socks. It was compression socks.
Right. You take them off. You got all the indentions in your leg and stuff, Horrible. Exactly. And then if you take the socks off, your toenails ain't been clipped in a while. You're tearing her legs up and the bed sheets. There's a lot going on down there. Judge said, what's better, a bath or a shower? I'm a shower person.
Yeah. Baths are okay, but I heard for women, it's not really good for women to constantly be in a bath.
And Lord knows I don't want to have that argument because, my God. Anita says, not the extra strength Ben Gay. Yeah, that turn them on. I got it for you, baby. They got that. CVS got that new. I'm going to get it for you tomorrow, baby.
Icy hot.
Oh, ooh, icy hot. You know, I'm gonna put it somewhere. It's gonna make it icy hot. You know, see how that work. Brita says, if you want it every night, make sure you can do it right. That's a t-shirt right there. Fierce for reading says,
Well, I can't promise anything, but I'd like to form my own opinion.
Of what?
No, I should say bring it every night. You know, hey, I'll give it a try.
Yeah, right. Y'all gonna be like Mr. Roper, knocked out. Fierce for reading says the older men got that blue pill these days. They ain't gonna admit it though. They talking about, no, I don't. Just wait. Just give it a couple hours. It'll wake up. Brother Samuel, you say, my older brothers, he says, the real play back in the day when I was in my 20s used to say, don't beat up your main woman, your main woman's up, keep it in shape, beat up the side pieces. Yeah, Lord have mercy. Alpha T Fitness, how you doing? Says, well, I'm back, and if I had kids, I wouldn't want them touching another man's hair. Y'all too naive. Well, thank you for that. Miss Sweet says, I'm not trying anything for 7 days a week. Even the Lord rested on the 7th day. Right. Miss Sweet, you know they be having them funky tube socks on, the dingy ones too. They had them since high school. They see through. They so old. M says, put a little big game behind the ear. But Sam says they made the good little brother. They made you to be the good little brother. I was a sacrifice for them. Okay. Miss Sweet says bathing for women can cause yeast infections. And Brina says blue pill at night, blue lips in the morning. Well, damn. Wow. Anyway, we're going to get out of here before we get in trouble because we're talking about some things. We're being nasty. We ain't supposed to be doing that, okay? We're supposed to be, upstute and woke and all that other stuff. We hotepping. We're supposed to be.
Well, it is Mother's Day, and some mothers will have their day tonight. So good luck with that. And
if it's really Mother's Day, the mothers will get some rest tonight, okay? For Mother's Day, I'm going to let you sleep. Go ahead and put on that moo-moo, that unattractive nightgown.
That bonnet.
Yeah. Put them granny drawers on that you love tonight, okay? I'm going to leave you alone, Gloda. Gloda Dean, it's your night. You could, the bonnet, the moo-moo, granny panties all the way up to here. You leave you alone. That's what you could do for her for Mother's Day. Now, Father's Day, that's a different story.
Father's Day, fellas, get ready for the TV dinner. I need you to fix the car. I need you to do this around the house. And then maybe she'll let you watch the game.
Just know that on Father's Day, you will get a fresh pack of tube socks to wear to bed, to keep your feet warm during your most fantastic 2 minutes of fun. And on that note, we are going to get out of here. Love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Please come back and see us again on Tuesday, where I'm sure we'll have more silliness. But y'all stay safe and have a great rest of your Mother's Day if that's what you're doing. And by all means, ladies, if you feel like putting on your moo-moo tonight, you do that. Peace.